Oh my god, it just has a red. Oh no. Right, this is really, really crazy. I'm back, legends. You can probably see me. This is the first stream I've done in a month, and it's absolutely all over the gaff. I've been cut off once. It's gone red, KPS everywhere. Guys, I'm just going to go. What a way to come back. Way to come back to the community with a rickety old stream from me. Oh, my literal god. Just, I hope, if it works, it works, it works, it works. Guys, okay, price action. We're going to go through Bitcoin. We just got the significant break of trend. Very, very important. Guys, we're going to go through everything on my Twitter, go through all the predictions I've done. We're going to speak about the indicators. We're going to go through MDX Algo. We're going to speak about my new exchange, Alpha Pro. You can trade with no KYC or VPN with Alpha Pro, guys. Alpha Pro, alpha.exchange. But guys, we'll start with the price action. I'm going to go through the top again. I don't know if anyone's coming in here. Hopefully it's working. It says excellent connection, but I can't see anybody in the chat. So we don't know what's going on. Hopefully you guys can see this. Some cobwebs. Someone wrote in the chat, yeah, I got some cobwebs, legends. Haven't been streaming for a while. Guys, we'll go from the beginning. Guys, so I'm literally I just spoke about this a second ago, but this level, guys, $25,000. We've known from the beginning of time that this is going to be a crucial level to look to buy for support. It actually came into it absolutely beautifully. It's almost like a mattress. You guys know what I call it. Came into it and we got the bounce off it. No, so guys, I've been saying, I'm going to rattle through this. Can I fucking speak? Legends! Please! It's good to be back. Fucking hell. Right. So you can see here that, guys, I was predicting for a while. Resistance turns support. SR flip. You buy support. It's likely going to get a good trade out of it. That's what we've got, guys, a 10% up move. Then, guys, on my other tweets as well, I've been speaking about this. I actually did this... oh, my God. I did this prediction on the 31st of May. Okay, 31st of May was this prediction. The other prediction was the 10th of June. I just spoke about this multiple times, and it cut me off. I'm just pissed off. You know when you're in flow, right? You're doing a stream, and you just get cut off at the neck. I'm just like, shit. I'm just aggravated. I'm just pissed off now. Right, anyway, so this is another prediction, guys, I made. It's happening perfectly as predicted as usual. So I did this on the 31st of May. That's my other prediction. And, guys, I won't go and find the other tweet I have on this freaking goddamn Twitter of mine, but we do have, obviously, the committed traders. The dealers are taking off their shorts. They are reducing shorts. It's a good sign. The dealers are institutional-grade traders. So the less shorts we see here is a good sign for the long to medium term for Bitcoin. But, guys, I'm going to get through this real quick. So the really important key thing we want to look at on this chart, guys, is this trend line. I did do a tweet previously, and I was talking about this trend line, and I said that if we break above this, guys, and we hold above it on a daily closure, we're going to get the daily close in a few hours, okay? And specifically this time, I'm at about 11 o'clock at night at the moment here in Cyprus. But wherever you are, guys, we're going to get the daily close in a few hours. If we get a daily close, guys, we have confirmed this break on the daily. And I do think, guys, the probability, if we do get a retest a little bit lower onto trend, I do think we're going to come and retest the highs on this, guys. And I just think this is some sort of downward sloping channel, potentially even some sort of consolidation, almost a bull flag, but I wouldn't say it was. And I think actually the probability is that we're going to go higher. I've been speaking about that for many, many months. Well, I haven't done a stream for 1 month. Since January, right? January 1st, I did a video. And I said, I think we come up to 32 between 28. I actually say between 28 and 31K. And I said that I do think we're going to see some significant resistance and go sideways and flat for a bit. That's exactly what we've got, guys. I did that prediction in January 1st. So we've now got that flat, boring PA for the last month. I haven't even streamed for that amount of time. And you can see, guys, we have a few... Well, actually, wait. I'll go into momentum indicators in a second because I do want to show you some of the momentum stuff on MDX, which actually is looking pretty interesting on higher time frames. But so guys, this trend line is now getting broken. It's a good sign. If you're not in a position already, don't try and buy the break, okay? Wait until you get a retest. If you don't get a retest, you've missed it. Next place you're going to be looking at for resistance is probably the highs at 32,000. You can see, guys, that this region here is actually full. I just literally indirectly drew a wanger there. Lovely jubbly. But we're back, legends. We're back in the game. Haven't streamed for a month. Did my first stream. It cut me off 5 minutes into it. The fucking internet cut me off for some reason. Anyway, so we're going to see some probably resistance around here, guys. It wouldn't surprise me for it to come up like this, see it again, maybe come back down, and then we can actually draw some new trends on that. But overall, guys, this is a significant break. We've got the trade from 25K. I've been speaking about 25K for like literally months. It's actually been probably about a month. I've been talking about 25K being support. On my other prediction, I said that I think we're going to get an SR on this, and we got a beautiful SR flip. Can't get much better than that, guys. That's just fucking textbook TA right there. Resistance turns to support. That's exactly what we've got, a 10% trade right there. And legends, you know what I'm going to say. I'll go into the momentum in a second, but I've actually been trading on Alpha Pro, guys. This is my exchange, my decentralized exchange. You can trade with no KYC or VPN, alpha.exchange. And I haven't had some trades on open on this. But the majority of my trades, guys, you know that I've been holding a lot of cash. And a lot of that cash, guys, is now gone back into crypto. So it's back into Bitcoin. I actually did I bought some ADA. I bought some Dogecoin. I bought some BNB. I bought some, what else did I buy? I bought some other shit coins like CRO. So I've deployed my money back into the market in terms of USDT. And I do quite like this, guys. It's textbook. We haven't even come to trend. So that is actually quite positive as well with this here. And I would say that the probability, if we get a daily closure like this, I think the probability is we're going to come, guys. And I'm going to itch my nose right now because it's killing me. But lovely jubbly, sir. I'm back. You can see here, guys, and it's not. I'm not itching my nose for that, legends. You know what I'm trying. If you've been on this channel for a while, you know what I'm trying to say. But this is probably what's going to get tagged, guys. The highs here, and I actually do see a scenario where Bitcoin begins to move up higher and see some of the next resistance levels. And I'm looking at around 32.7. We're looking at 41.5, and then, guys, we've got the golden retracement, which will be $48,000. And if I get my fibs up. Wait, I deleted my fibs, didn't I? This is the prediction I made, guys, the SR strategy on Twitter. Resistance turns support. Very, very clear here that we've actually had a nice move up. That's 10% of my, I'm 10% on my cash positions right now. But guys, if you do a very simple Fibonacci retracement on this, you can see that 48K, I think, is going to be the significant area where we stop for a prolonged period of time. And we get my Fibonacci retracement tool out. So you draw from high to low. Very simple TA here, guys. You can see that this region here, guys, is very, very important. That comes in at bang on $48,000. Okay, so this would be from the high to the low of Fibonacci retracement back up, golden retracement $48,000. And I do actually think that if we do see a daily closure above this trend line, I'm not going to say this trend is, that's it, and we're going to go to 48. Obviously, I would say that 32 is the next area to break. If we come up to 32 and we can't see it, we can't get above here, then we come back down. I actually do probably think that's probably a more probable scenario where we see resistance at 32 or 31 again. But I would just say that this is the beginning stages of that. We found support logically on 25. Let me move my mouse out of the way. This is a logical SR trade, guys. You can see it here. Resistance turns to support. Very, very nice. You can see on this chart as well that we haven't actually broken this either. And a lot of guys, I did a tweet about this the other day. I was like, is it going to be some sort of Elliott or wave count? Look, we want to be careful with this. At the end of the day, it is a scenario which does look pretty plausible. If we do manage to hold above the first wave, and look, whatever you want to call it, how many waves are within waves, this would be the kind of last hurrah fifth wave up, and that would probably take us to around, let's just say the highs. I'm not going to say any further just in case, this does change this analysis. But I'm saying that, the fourth wave hasn't broken the first, okay? So we're still above the first top of that first wave. Number 4 has stayed above it. I've been speaking about this for months, guys, saying that, as long as we hold above 14, basically, it's $30,000, and then we're going sideways for a bit. I literally did that video in January where I was speaking about how I do think we're going to get the bear market rally. The bear market rally now, has pretty much completed. We've done the bear market rally. Now we're waiting to see, is the bear market rally going to turn into something significant in terms of an actual bull market or a bull trend within a cyclical bear market, which would be 48 and then back down. But I'm thinking, guys, keep this very, very clear and simple. We've got sustained higher lows coming in here now. We've actually managed to break above trend, this downtrend. So you can see here, that would have been another break there. Every single time we've tried to do that previously, we've failed. We've got a break. We need to get a daily closure. I do think that $31,000 on the cards right now. And the invalidation is very clear, very simple. If we do lose, let's just say we come back down for the retest. That's what I always look for. If you're not in a trade right now, guys, don't get into a trade. There's no point getting into a trade right now. You're going to chase it. If you're on the 1 minute, maybe you could catch something. But I would say that if you're, looking for a swing here, don't look at the trade now. You've missed it. I got into my positions at 25 with my cash positions on my USDC. What you want to wait for is a retest of the trend line, and then that would be your buy, because then you have a logical stop loss, okay? So I do think that the probability is increased now that we're going to get $31,000. If we do break 31K, so we come up to here like that, and then we come back down and make a significant higher low, oh, I think this could get really juicy, guys, and I actually do think that 32.7, 41, and then 48K, and I don't think if we do break 31, I just don't think we're going to get above 48. I think it's very unlikely we'll get above 48 this year. I've said that explicitly for multiple months. I've actually said that in January as well. I said I don't think we break the all-time high this year. I think if we break the all-time high this year, we need to see... Oh, actually, I remember what I said. I remember exactly what I said. I said we need to see more institutional grade adoption. We need to see more institutions investing in Bitcoin, but we have got the BlackRock ETF. So, let me say it again. I don't think we break the all-time high this year for Bitcoin if we don't see that the amount of institutions in the market increase over 8%. So Bitcoin, generally, 8% of it is owned by institutions. That's not actually a very big number. I could get the chart up somewhere. I can't remember where I've got it somewhere. But there's about 8% of Bitcoin is under institutional management, okay? The ETF, the BlackRock ETF, could change that, okay? Because that means that if they're going to have the liquidity to provide that product for institutional grade traders, this ETF, this exchange traded fund, what they're going to have to do is buy up a lot of Bitcoin, to have it in the liquidity so they can actually offer that product. So that could actually increase the exposure of Bitcoin by quite a lot. And we could see that number, 8%, go to 10, 15, and then that could be what is the catalyst to see Bitcoin break the all-time high this year. But I'm still sticking to my guns, guys. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't even been approved. It might not get approved, so we can't just say, oh, yes, now there might be an ETF, so now we go to moon. No, we haven't got the ETF yet. It hasn't happened. So if we do get it, I think the probability of us breaking the all-time high this year increases, but I still think that's a low general ballpark figure. I think it's a low probability. Guys, we've got like 280 people in here and 41 likes. I haven't streamed for a month. If you want me to stream every single day, again, smash that like button. Desecrate it, you know what to do. Okay, that's that. And that's the ETF stuff. So I want to make it very clear. It could be interesting. I do think there's going to be a lot of buy demand on the books for Bitcoin if it does clear and it does go through. It hasn't happened yet. We got to wait. We got to see what's going to happen. But I do think it's okay. And I also want to say one more thing about the ETF, and then I'll go back into TA, because the ETF is a big event. Okay, but it's not an event for today. It's not an event for today, tomorrow, or the next day. It's an event for the medium to long term. Really, as soon as the ETF comes out, it's not like that day. There's going to be a huge demand for Bitcoin through the product and buying the books to get the liquidity for the ETF. It's not going to happen overnight. That's just not how institutions work. They're Goliaths. They move slowly, but when they do eventually hit and move, then that can have a big impact. So I'd say that this is what's going to happen. It's a really, really promising thing for the medium to long term for the general space having adoption, because having an exchange traded fund is going to allow more people to adopt and buy and be a part of a part of Bitcoin in general. It's going to allow institutions to get in. Long to medium term is very, very positive. It's not going to change anything today. I just do think that maybe this year, if it does pan out well, and it does happen, and it goes through, and it's approved, and people start using it, then I'll look into the camera. Hi, guys. I'm back. It's me. Look, listen, it's going to be positive for the medium to long term, but don't get too ahead of yourself in the short term, okay? I just think it could potentially give us to an all-time high this year if it goes out, but I still think the probability of making an all-time high this year is very, very low. I actually said explicitly that I don't think it's going to happen this year, and I will eat something. I said I'll eat something on my desk. So, we're all getting excited about a fucking 10% move to the upside. But the good thing about this move here, guys, is that it has broken some structure, okay? And we've broken structure from a prolonged period of down. This is on the daily scale. So this actually has been moving for 65 days. It was basically trending down. I basically haven't streamed for that whole period of time. And now after a 65-day downtrend, obviously it's not a significant downtrend. It's a cyclical bear trend within a bull trend, or you could say an uptrend, because we have higher lows coming into this. So it's an uptrend on a higher time frame, but it's a cyclical bear movement. It's a downward sloping channel here. The good thing is we have got a break of structure here, which is very, very promising. And I do think after 66 days, time is resistance in itself. So I do, and I said this in my VIP group, I said, I am looking for shorts, because ultimately around here, we're continuously getting the resistance. But I said I'm hesitating on this one, because I'm not taking any more shorts, because what I want to do right now, and that's a leverage short, what I want to do right now is what I want to do is I want to look at the market rationally and think to myself, it's been going down for 66 days. Time is resistance. So it's going to happen eventually, this break. We're getting it now, as I said in my VIP group. I said, I'm waiting. I'm not going to pull any shorts on. And that would be a head short against my spot buying I've been doing, because I bought all of my cash is basically back in at 25k. So I basically moved all my USDT back in at 25, because obviously, Legends, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to play this type of shit, Legends. This is very simple SR strategy. I spoke about this on my Twitter again. Let me just recap for everyone who's come into this chat. I did this prediction for the SR. This was on the 10th of June. I made this prediction, got a 10% move off it. And this prediction here was on the 31st of May. So this is basically a few months ago, 1 month ago. So look, so basically what I'm trying to say, to wrap it all up, is that I'm back in on my cash. My cash is in the market. All my USDT is basically back in. I bought a shitload of Dogecoin. I don't know why. I just thought, fuck it. It's gone so low. It's very likely it's going to pop. Let me look at Doge real quick. Yeah, so Doge, I think Doge is a really good buy. I think, and this is not short-term trading. This is just long-term investment in it. I just think that eventually Doge is going to have its moment again. I bought a lot of ADA, actually, and that's fucking crazy. Legends, I bought ADA. ADD, and it's a fucking security in the USA. What am I doing? Am I crazy? I think it's a really, really smart move right now, actually, buying ADA. Looking at that price action, it's strictly technical, the buy. But that price action chart, you can't not buy that shit. It's a really, really nice buy. It's retested its low from a huge, massive move down. Let me get the chart up, actually. ADA, I bought a significant amount of ADA just because this chart here, this is what a bottom can. This could bottom out here. That could have been the bottom. You got to remember, you got to take into account this trend's broken. It's had a 43% move down. Okay, I actually did a backtested study a few years ago where I looked at multiple different markets, and I just said to myself, okay, look, if the market pulls back more than 40% within a few days, or let's give it a week, what is the probability chance of you being in profit within 1 month? This is crypto markets. Literally, you're very likely going to get a bounce. I think it came to like 70 or 80% chance that you're going to be in profit within a month's time if you buy it after the dip, and that can correlate to a wick. I need to find that study. I'll probably do another one, actually. If you want me to do another study, hit a like, actually. I'll do a study and we'll go through all the charts over a 40% correction. What's the probability of it being above your entry price a month or later? So this here on ADA, this is strictly technicals, guys. I don't fucking care about Roy Hodgkinson or whatever his name is. It's had a significant move down of 43%, and that 43% move down has only just managed to make it a small lower low. Okay, that's powerful, and it's a very, very flat TA. The likelihood is you're going to get something, then you can have your stop, put it into break even. If it does want to continue down, that's unlikely. It's more unlikely it's going to happen, so I'll lose that trade. My stop losses are under the wicks, but I'm looking at this to have a bounce trade up. Get your stop into break even, and potentially looking at that 43% move down and only just making a lower low. I think it's a pretty interesting, juicy trade, regardless of all the fucking news and BS you hear. It doesn't matter. Just because it's a security in the USA does not mean it's going to have an effect long term on its price. Generally, maybe fucking, who knows? But that's why I'm saying don't look at fucking news, because you can always say, who knows? I think ADA's a great buy. CRO as well. I bought some CRO. I just can't not buy that. I think this company's great. I look at the CRO investment as more of, a traditional, earnings investment. I actually look at it as a company, the token, because it's so baked into the company being successful. So, I look at that. It's in essence as buying it as a stock, looking at the company, the revenue, the reserves. And then Legends, I bought a whole load of other shit. I bought some, what else did I buy? I didn't buy any Solana in the end. I did buy a little bit of Matic. I bought Doge, ADA. I just bought a whole load of alts on this dump, and I bought BNB as well. And I'm not too happy about BNB, though, Legends. I'm still not happy about this chart, and I'll tell you why. And this will probably get clipped if this happens, because this is just how I think. This chart isn't completed yet. It's not a completed chart. The problem is about this chart is that it hasn't filled in this gap. And look, it doesn't necessarily need to do anything, the price. Okay, the price action doesn't need to do anything. It does what it wants. But for me to look at this area hasn't been filled in yet. There's a lot of people who got into positions here. Obviously, this was years ago, but ultimately, if you look at total 2 and you just look at the broader market, as a whole, what usually happens, guys, is you have the expansion and you really, really come back down to exactly where you started off, especially with altcoins. We're likely going to get that on total 2. Again, this chart, I can't lie to you guys, you know, BTC dominance is rising very, very rapidly right now. I actually do still think alts are going to bleed out a bit further and at least come down to about here. You know, that's what I really do think about alts. And that would be, you know, up to here again, then back round and coming around to around 2024. And that would be a completed chart. Like this, you know, when you look at it, and this is very, very basic looking at analysis, but this is just how I think, you know, this is a completed chart. It's really come back down to its lows. That's why I did buy BNB, but I do think BNB, I think the probability that BNB does actually wick down into this gray area or this area of liquidity hasn't been tagged, I actually do think it's quite probable. And I would say that if you are looking for lower time trades, I would say don't fuck around with this. I'd say have your stops very, very tight, especially under that wick there at about $184, I think that says, if I can fucking read my screen. 184, you got to have stops, because if everyone's got their stop there, it makes me even more inclined to be like, it's going to get tagged. Because if there's an area of the order book, or let's just say a quick move up and it never gets filled in general, you're just going to have the whole market is staring at that price, okay? So if it does go there, all those stops and licks are going to get hit all at once, and then you're just going to see a flush on the books, and it's going to be something like, let's just say BNB does get a nice little bounce here. It just goes like zoof, zoof. That's the noise it makes, a zoof, up and down. See on the flippers and just takes everybody out. So I do think BNB could go lower. Anyway, I just went on a rant on altcoins for some reason, but we're supposed to be talking about the itty bitty, sir. All right, I've done the daily. Okay, I haven't even done the fucking the regiment down, but daily looks good to me if we get a daily close like we have right now. I'll go into momentum indicators in a second. Let's just flick down a couple of time frames. 12 hour looking pretty good to me. I do think this area here, especially with the indicators, is going to act as resistance. So we've got a lot of liquidity above us. These indicators, guys, actually show you where all the pockets of resistance are. And you can look at this two ways. The first way you look at it is that these are resistance blocks, which is absolutely perfectly fine to say, because you can see this is where the sellers stepped in all the way up here. But also you can see it's an opportunity for certain people in the market. So there's a lot of liquidity up here to flush through. And what it means is there's going to be a lot of orders here for sellers, and there's going to be a lot of shorts stacked. Very interesting, actually, the long to short ratio, because, whoa, that was loud. Did you hear that fucking shit? So long to short ratio, guys, what happened is it's come right back down, guys, to 55%. But as we came down here, and I want to make a point about this, actually, because someone in my group was talking about this as well, and about the long to short ratio, and I want to make this very clear. So the long to short ratio here was like 75% long. It was getting insanely long, guys, as we came down here on the PA. The thing you got to be careful of, right, is that what usually happens, actually, is the market can generally be more longs in the market, more longs in the market, more longs in the market for a considerable amount of time. We know that the reason the price has generally been going down is because those longs have been getting hit and stopped out. But it got super over-exacerbated. And what a lot of time you see with the long to short ratio is when the price actually goes with those traders, okay? Because everyone's getting so wrecked, everyone's getting so murked, everybody's long at the bottom. When you actually get a snap to the other side in its right direction, because long to short ratio isn't gospel, you know, you have to look at it with a load of different confluences. But what happens is you see it go up, and then everyone who was actually underwater all the way down here, what they do is they say, fuck it, I've got a relief. There's been a relief in the books. What I'm going to do now is I'm either going to take my position off and take that loss I got, or I'm just going to close out everything and just get out of the market, because people will see that opportunity where the market pops back up. And then people just then they take off their longs because they've just said, fuck it, okay, I can't deal with this anymore. And then they take that loss. And then those losses are realized. And guess what? I'm seeing it a lot on the long to short ratio. Now we're seeing that the market's getting the other way. Longs are still winning, but all those longs, it actually came off as we rallied. And now, guys, what we want to see is the shorts begin to stack up, okay? And then we're going to see some shit happening there, because if the shorts begin to stack up, guess what, leggies? We're going up. And that's what we've got right now. We've got more shorts coming into the books. So you can see that now we have 44% of the market is short, and then that is actually building up some fuel for the higher prices, okay? So what I want to say, guys, right now as well on momentum, I'll stick with momentum now, and I'll show you some of the momentum indicators. We do have some pretty interesting stuff happening on the weekly. This is the MDX Oscillator 5, guys. We actually have right now already topped out, and the histogram has began to come back down to the mid-zone. The reason this is interesting to me is because we do have, I wouldn't say it was a divergence, because obviously Bitcoin hasn't broken above 32K, but we've got this momentum to the upside right now happening, guys, coming up towards 31. But we are, like, in terms of price action, but momentum on the higher time frames is beginning to curl back down. all I can say is this. This isn't the end of the world, because obviously we do have these pullbacks on bull trends. I would just say what we're looking for here, guys, is this beginning to carve out this. Okay, that's what we're really look for on this oscillator. This oscillator is using a whole multitude of different things. It's very, very powerful. I think you guys should definitely check it out. It's mdxalgo.com. The guys in the community love it. We can see here, guys, the histogram's coming down. We've seen a few times in history the histogram can come down for a few months. We had 1 month of down. What we want to see from this indicator now for the long-term prospect of Bitcoin is we want to see it make a trend like this, up, 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 and then something like that, okay? So what we want to see from the momentum indicators is this. We are coming back down right now. You know, you could say it was a divergence, but you're looking at the daily time frame and then taking it over to the weekly. This is a higher time frame perspective. The daily right now, I haven't checked it today, is looking actually a little bit better, because actually, at least we're near oversold, okay? 4 hours, let's have a quick look as well. 4 hours actually getting up there. I would say that if we do, I don't think that Bitcoin is going to do one straight line move to $31,000, okay? I've said that already before. I think we're going to get on this... I said on the stream actually earlier, I think we're going to get a retest of trend. And if you're not in a trade yet, guys, on this breakout, this is a nice break, okay? But you don't break out trade. We do not break out trade on these markets, guys. You will get absolutely fucking murked. Very difficult to be profitable. So if you missed this, do not try and chase this right now. Wait for something. It might even wick back in here as well, get a higher low. And then what you want to do is look to get your buys in when it retests trend. Overall, this trend line isn't, you know, it's not the perfect of trend lines. You know, it's not... you know, the most precise. I would just say it's generally giving you an articulation that, you know, the market has been going down and now it's beginning to change behavior. But I would say that it's unlikely we're going to go like that straight away. It's possible, obviously, guys, but I'm saying it's unlikely. If you're not in a trade, wait for it to come back down, buy the support levels, and you're going to give yourself a logical SR, or sorry, a logical fucking entry with risk management, okay? So that's what you'd wait to do there. Let's go down to the hourly. Let's do the really lower time frames, guys, as well. Because we'll quickly do a little bit of degen lower time frames, and then I'll just zip out a few time frames and show you the highs. But as of right now, guys, we are bang on resistance up here. So if you actually do go to the indicators, you can see this as well on the hourly. I think actually we broke through. If you go on MDX Algo, the Twitter, let me just make this load a second. Let me just show you the Twitter account. So the cool thing is about MDX Algo, let me just go on MDX Algo, the goddamn freaking MDX Algo Twitter. You can see here, guys, that what happens here is you have these big clusters of resistance coming. This is mdxalgo.com. These are the indicators. We also have the bands on as well at the moment on this specific chart, because I've been using it with bands. But you can see here, guys, that this big cluster of resistance got tagged into. And actually, the price, actually, you can see very nicely. Obviously, the resistance zones, they come off the price action when they've already been blown apart. But what you can see here, guys, is that actually this is where that resistance block was. It's exactly the same. So along here, that this line is where that resistance block is. You can see that when we came into this, you can see we had these rejections. We actually had this very, very quick rejection off it, and then we had another very, very quick rejection actually as well. In my VIP group, I said to my guys, I said, look, I'm taking off all shorts because of this first move, and I said that I think the likelihood is we're going to go higher. But you can see these big two wicks. This is it's a good sign, guys, for the bulls, because what it's done is it's come into this, it's taken out all the liquidity, came back down, and just fucking hit it again. And this whole entire resistance area now is completely gone. It's gone, legends, okay? So very, very good to see that. Also, what you're going to say is there are going to be a lot of buyers here now. So if Bitcoin does come back down to here, I will be looking to buy the top of those wicks, actually. If Bitcoin does come down now, I think that's your opportunity, guys, to get in if we are going to break out. We're actually at resistance right now, you can see here. And I do think that this level is going to probably act as something. You can see we've already stopped now. The probability, I think, is that we do stop around here. And I think that the trade is really to try and buy around here. So if it comes to there, that's where you're looking to buy. And if it does hold there, very, very likely Bitcoin's going to probably push up towards $31,000. I said on my tweets, if you read my tweets, guys, you know that I've been calling for, if we break trend, fucking hell, it's so hot in here. Yo, babe! Bubble! Babushki! Could you turn the aircon up? I fucking sweating my titties off. yeah, you can see here like that. And then if it finds support, they're very, very good. And then, guys, obviously we know that if we do come back into trend and we break through, if you do get stopped out on buying support there, then you know, okay, look, let's just flip it back in. We're going back into the range and back down into the trend, okay? So then you can flip your buy. So you can lose the money on the first buy, flip back, sell it as resistance. Yeah, Babu, sorry to bother you, my bash, bish, bish. I'm just absolutely sweating my titties off right now. Do you reckon you could blast the aircon up the on the fan? Turn it up. Yeah, thanks, babe. Yeah, but what could I do? I got the legends out here. Yeah, just turn the fan on like higher, and maybe just fucking turn that one on as well. Why is that on 27? Shit. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Oh, thanks, babe. I am in control. All right, I'm just blasting all aircons on. Cyprus is insanely hot right now. It's crazy out here. All right, guys, we've got like 330 people in here. If you can hit that like button, that'd be great. Desecrate the like button. You know what to do. Also, links in the description, guys, for exchanges. I've actually got my new exchange, Alpha Pro. This is my decentralized exchange. There is no VPN needed. You don't need a KYC. There's no fucking email. There is no way the government will ever be able to fucking get me, legends. I am MDX Crypto. Fuck the government. This is completely decentralized. We use a smart contract that you have ownership over. So if the front end goes down, you can still access your money. Alpha.exchange, guys. You can literally log in with BNB and Ethereum. You just need to get the Binance wallet or get the fucking Ethereum wallet, MetaMask. And you can trade on this with 200x leverage, guys. We'll do some trades on this later. You know what? Just to show you, I'll slam in a little 200x leverage short right now. Bit of fun. Bang that in. $1,000. Who gives a shit? So I slammed in a little short there, guys. And if I do get stopped out on that trade, happy fucking days, legends, because that just means that I'm going to add the buy liquidity for the pump. I put a horizontal line just to show you exactly where my entry is. That's where I got in. So, guys, this exchange, 200x leverage. It's my exchange, literally. So there is no one can fuck you. Like, there's no SBF. There's no Celsius, Mashinsky. It's completely fully decentralized. Go to alpha.exchange. Just connect your MetaMask wallet or your... I actually really am enjoying the Binance wallet. So I've got my wallet here. It's called Binance Wallet, I think. And I've been using that, actually. It's really fucking good. And I just sent some BNB over or some BUSD, depending on what you want to do. And then, yeah, this is the exchange, guys. Hope you like it. Give me a like if you like the decentralized exchange. I'm bringing the dexes to the community, legends. I built a dex. Fuck centralized... Look, I'm going to go as far as to say this. Fuck anything centralized. Fuck anything centralized. The government, your fucking boss at work, the goddamn freaking smart contracts which aren't audited. Fuck them all. Obviously, we need a little bit of centralization on some shit, but I'm just going down that road. I'm like, you know what? What is centralization? I'm not going to government, but what is centralization? It's fucking goddamn communism. That's the ultimate centralization, is government. And that's fucking commie bastards. Anyway, we're not going into that shit. I said I'm not going to talk about Andrew Tate and government. I will. If you want me to talk about Andrew Tate, hit the like. But if you don't, just chill. So anyway, I got a little short open for you to show the trade. So right now we're up 0.72%. Lovely jubbly. But alpha.exchange, guys, is the link. And then obviously, guys, if you want to get the indicators, go over to MDX Algo. But let's get back into these charts because I think they are quite interesting. We actually have a TP signature right now as well on this time frame. We actually are significantly out of the bands as well. So it wouldn't surprise me to have a little bit of a pullback, guys. You know, we've broken out. We're at resistance on this level here. We're actually at a resistance zone here as well. Well, it's the same price, but you just articulate in a different way. A retest down here would be interesting. Longer-short ratio isn't there just yet. So we do need a little bit more on the longer-short ratio just to say, okay, look, we still are actually net long right now. The shorts have already piled up, which is a very good sign. We want more shorts, obviously, now whilst we're going up to liquidate them. So let's have a look what we get anyway. So I'd say that the likelihood is probably more likely, and this is just more likely as in just going by the textbook, it's coming down to around here again for a retest, and I would look to buy that. If you buy it, you're likely going to get a bounce. If you get a lower high and you break through it, fine, you get stopped out, you've managed to get into break even, then you flip. If you do get a retest of it, then you short, okay? So that's what I'm looking for right now. But, you know, let me just zip out onto the monthly and stuff as well and just be like completely honest and frank. You know, I said in January that, you know, let me get a clean chart up. I said in January that I think Bitcoin... What is this, guys? Stop it. You naughty little price action. Can you just give me a fucking fresh chart? This actually looks pretty interesting. What is going on here? Right, let me get rid of all this crap. So anyway, this is a chart of with a fractal on it. So I said in January, Legends, that I do think that Bitcoin will come up and it will tag that 30K area. We've got it now. We've done it. Hey presto, we've made it through. And I said in January that I do think that we're going to find resistance at about 30K, between 28 and 31K, I said, and we're going to go sideways and flat. You know, I think this is good enough. This is 65 days of sideways, you know, and down a little bit. We've come pretty much to a good psychological number of $25,000. 25K for me is obviously resistance turns support. I've said that a million times on my Twitter. You can see it, guys. Look at my Twitter. Go to Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, Legends, you need to, because these types of things, I post them daily. And if you want to get even more like in-depth stuff, like me actually typing like on a daily basis shit, just go and get mdxalgo.com. Go to mdxalgo.com and get the VIP group, because in the VIP group, I'm always talking, chatting, typing and shit. So you can get even more of a, you know, really like a daily, you know, calls. So 25,000, pretty good. You know, my bias right now is that as long as we're above 25K, I actually do think this could be the beginning of something pretty juicy. And I do think 31's going to get tagged. And then there's a few macro things in the background which are making me think, well, that ETF is pretty decent. It's making the SEC look like a laughing stock. So, you know, I think 31K is going to get tagged as long as we hold above this trend line. If we hold above this trend line, I think 31's going to get tagged. I do think we're going to get a retest, something like that, and then we get it. I think it's unlikely we get it all in one go. And if we get $31,000 tagged, let's just say we get something like this, 31 gets tagged, I'd say it's more likely we're going to get some resistance on it, probably like, you know, something like that, find support again, and then off to the races. And I actually think 48K is nothing to laugh at, because we've got 32.7 to get above. We've got 41, and I think, you know, if we get 41, I think 48 is going to happen, and that obviously ties back into our lovely chart of the fibs. And look, a lot of guys have been talking about this, and you got to give them some respect. It's a Fibonacci golden fucking retracement back from the high to the low. That's the level we're really looking at. Have a look at that, though, Legends. That's what I'm talking about. This is just like, okay, if anyone ever comes up to you, they're like, but TA doesn't work. It's just like luck and gambling. Just show them this chart, guys. Because this chart's so... It's almost just like beautifully simple. And the beauty of TA is that it is simple, because all you're doing is analyzing the price of something to give you a higher probability than someone else having got the ability to look at the price. It's this resistance turns to support. It's beautifully come into it as well. This chart actually articulates it nicer, because we've got two levels here. It's come into it to the T, and we pop back out. Everyone was saying that, oh, but it's 25K, it's too obvious, someone's going to do this and do that. And yes, you know, you can wishy-washy and say that as much as you want, that it is too obvious. But right now, Legends, if you stick it to basics and you stick it to the fundamentals and the textbook trading, what, you know, who gives a fuck if it's goddamn fucking too obvious? Because it happened, okay? And that's the beauty of looking at things objectively and not subjectively. You're going to just do it anyway. And that's what I did. I bought my cash in anyway. We've got the move, regardless of all your shorts and everything you've been trying to do. I took a short around here, guys. I went into profit. And in my VIP group, I explicitly told everybody, I said, you literally go in there when you just go get my VIP group and just scroll up. We came up to here, and I had a short open because we got resistance twice. We basically hit this trend line, and also my indicators had a huge resistance zone popping off and basically around this region. And I said, guys, when we got this move down, my short went into good profit. I took off basically entry. We came back up to there, and I was like, usually I would re-short the fuck out of this. I'd do a retest short, but like, you know what? I've made my money. I can't lose. Let's re-short. I didn't do it. I hesitated. I was like, I'm not going to re-short that. We came to here. I took out that position, and then bang, we came straight through it, guys. And that's just, and I said in my group, I said, the reasoning for this is that we've been in a downtrend for 65 fucking days, okay? We're very likely going to get a break. We're up against trend. I'm not looking to re-short. I'm in on cash. I've got all my cash back into the market at 25, buying these lows. There's no point trying to hedge right now, and that's what we've got. So we've got to move out. We've got to break. And I do, you know, I'm not getting too overexcited about this, but I would just say that I just have this hunch. I like the look of this chart. It's been long enough for this to be like, yeah, okay, you know, 65 days, that in itself, you know, it's almost 2 months. We've got a break. the next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to reevaluate what we get when we see the next price move. If we get the daily close, which is going to happen in a minute, we'll get a daily close. If the daily close happens and it's above trend, then we have a confirmed break. The next thing we're going to look for is the retest. If we come down and retest it, I will be a buyer. I will buy the retest. Whatever happens, I will buy it because it's likely going to get a bounce. If we do get a retest down to here, I think that's probably more likely we're going to get around here. If we come up, we see a lower high and then we break down, then fine. Okay, I'll flip out, take a loss or take a small break-even trade. And then if we come back into here, then we're looking for, are we going to get a higher low? You know, if we get a high, if this actually happens, right, which could be a scenario, a break back in, a fake out, you know, we just got to get a higher low from there to there. And you got to remember, Bitcoin's come up 10% in price. So the likelihood is that it's quite difficult for it to go, you know, like that, because it's got to move so far. Like I was talking to you earlier about ADA. If we get a higher low anywhere, guess what? The next wave comes in, confidence comes back, so the confidence comes back, and the buyers win. Like, let me articulate that point. So it's moved very, very quickly, okay? So it means that it has to do a significant drop now, over 10%, to lose the low. That's a lot of sellers. Look at ADA. The reason I bought ADA on the lows is because of the invert of that. We've had such a significant move down on ADA. This is a 43% move. And if you want to go from the high, like this is going to be 60%. This is a 53% move down on ADA. Fuck the fundamentals. Who gives a shit about Hodgkinson, the 30-year-old, 80-year-old? I don't give a shit. All I'm saying to this, legends, is that if something goes down 53% in a matter of a month and actually goes down on a matter of days, I mean, look on the daily time frame. This is literally a matter of 4 or 5 days. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. The market's moved down. That's okay. It's moved down 43% in less than a week. I did a study. I did a whole load. I literally went through about 50 different charts. This was mainly altcoins. I did some traditional as well. And I just looked at it and said, if the market drops more than 50%, I actually said more than 40%. If it drops more than 40% in less than a week, what's the probability of you being in profit if you buy the low within a month? 70, 80% you're likely to be in profit on anything, regardless of the market, even in a bear market. So you got this huge crash down here, guys, on ADA. It's exactly the same thing the other way round. You're just like, huge aggressive move to not even make that much of a lower low. You know, hasn't made that much of a lower low. It's all of this downwards pressure, all these people selling, all of these goddamn positions getting liquidated. You know, this trade here. And I didn't go lightly, guys. I actually bought more ADA than I've ever had in history. I've never even had that much ADA. I actually had a lot of ADA when I shorted it. I actually shorted it on USDT perpetuals. I shorted ADA at like $2.50 or some shit, and I was calling for 60 cents for about a year. And yeah. That happened, legends. I shorted around here, didn't I? It's about, yeah, 260. I was calling for 60 cents around here. We got that nice big bounce off 60 cents when we got it, and then we just flushed all the way through. So, you know, the rest is literally history, but I've now bought quite a lot of ADA. And it kind of makes me feel sick even saying that, because I hate, like, the community behind it. I wouldn't say hate the community. I don't even know you guys, but if you're an ADA fan, tell me in the chat. I can't even see the chat. Is there even a live chat? I don't think there is even a live chat on here. Is there a live chat for you guys to type in? I can't see the chat right now. But yeah, so the thing is with it, right? The core ADA team and community, or whoever they fucking are, they're so hypey for nothing. But it's strictly price action. It's come seriously significantly down. I do think ADA will probably moonshot out of this and have its next big craze. Dogecoin as well. I think this is a really nice buy. I actually bought Dogecoin at literally like the wick on this. It was lower. It was I was buying the wick down here on Dogecoin. Sorry, this wick down here. That's where I was getting my Dogecoin in. It was about 4 a.m., wasn't it? Yeah, 3 or 4 a.m. I remember just absolutely going in on cash. So on basically my Bybit account, just buying cash. But you can see here, guys, that again, you know, significant drop down. You know, look at these levels. We're coming back down to here. You know, it can go lower, but you got to remember that if Dogecoin literally just flicks back to its local high, just its local fucking high, you're looking at a 160% move. Local high, okay? For Bitcoin to do a 160% move, you're definitely looking at all-time highs. Let me see what we've got from where we are now. 160% move, all-time highs. Okay, so 160 on Bitcoin. On Dogecoin, you're looking at locals. Like, you're looking at these little... This is 160 to there. So... the thing is as well, I want to make a point here. Like BTC dominance, that's BTC1. BTC dominance is skyrocketing right now. And I've said from the very beginning, all the bear markets and bull markets I've seen in crypto, I've been trading crypto since 2016. I traded gold for years before I even traded Bitcoin. I actually found a video of me trading gold, actually. Like, it hit the, I can't see the chat, but tell me in the chat, if there is a chat, if you would like me to post the old video of me trading gold like years ago. So Bitcoin dominance is taking over because that's what happens. Because obviously, as the market gets fearful in a bear market, all of the, when the tide comes in, you see who's left out in the sea. Okay, so that's not the expression, but you know what I'm trying to say. Bitcoin dominance is rising because everyone's consolidating their losses into Bitcoin. Bitcoin always leads the charge first. That's what's happened historically in most bull markets. Bitcoin leads the charge. All the money, almost like a black hole, gets sucked into Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumps up. When Bitcoin stops or goes down into a bear market, then you see little altcoin pops and altcoin rallies and altcoin seasons. That's just because the money which has been made from the Bitcoin going up is now moving into other alternatives. Very similar to how other markets work, like say Apple. Apple takes up a lot of the market cap or the market share, and then it trickles down into smaller companies that are linked to Apple. They start popping off as Apple comes down. So it's a very similar thing. It's like a tree scenario, like a trickle down system. So Bitcoin dominance is going to rise. And what's going to happen is a lot of these altcoins like Dogecoins, a lot of these altcoins like Doge are going to be left behind. Okay, they're not going to keep up with Bitcoin in the beginning. When Bitcoin really begins its next bull market, which is beginning to try and do now, Bitcoin is going to go first, and it's going to capture everyone's attention and capture the market. The speculation is going to go there. Doge is probably going to sit and do nothing. And that it's a 160% move to the local high. So Doge has to go from here to here to get a 160% gain. So I'm saying that Bitcoin will probably reach its all-time highs, and Dogecoin won't really move. But when Bitcoin finishes its big first leg of its next bull market, say we do the wave 1, or let's just say it's the wave 5 of the final 4 of what we've got now, then you're going to see these fuckers go crazy. And Dogecoin is the gambling of, it's the casino of crypto. It's going to come back. There's going to be a day again where Elon backs it on some fucking weird level, and it's going to I think Dogecoin will eclipse $1 in the future, and I think it will be used as a casino coin. You'll see it in casinos, and people will just be clicking red and fucking, red and green on it. I think it's definitely going to do well. So anyway, my point is that it's going to take Bitcoin to get to its all-time highs. That's a 160% move. Dogecoin only has to go to local highs. So on this whole entire move, when altcoins got trashed by the SEC and nuked, that was almost like an ideal scenario for me, because it's ridiculous, Legends. Like, what's everybody doing? Why is everybody selling it? Like, the SEC can only regulate US securities, right? And they're deeming it as securities on Binance. Like 5% of the market's traded on the US market on Binance US. So who gives a fuck what the SEC think? I also do think that the SEC are losing their power as well because of this new BlackRock ETF. I think that's absolutely hilarious. They're literally going to be partnering up with Coinbase. So I think what you're seeing now is the SEC have done their last punch, their last big whack around the face for crypto, but they ain't really got anything else. They've gone after the biggest exchange in the USA, and they've gone after the biggest cryptocurrency altcoins, calling them securities. They didn't even touch Bitcoin. So Bitcoin didn't really react. That's obvious. And then we've got the market generally isn't in the US. So most other countries don't give a fuck what the US say. They can't. There's no jurisdictional power against what they do. So you're going to see these companies move out of the US. Obviously, it's detrimental to US people, and a lot of you guys are US, but it's just the truth. It's going to be detrimental to the US, but we're going to see companies moving out. I think that overall, this bull market is just going to be is going to make the SEC look a laughing stock, because we've got this institutional grade investor or trader who can get in now with this ETF. I've said from the beginning, I don't think Bitcoin makes an all-time high this year, but I said that that's on one condition. And the condition is that we don't see new institutional grade investors coming in, or institutional grade potential, or the on-ramp is there. Where is that chart? I need to find it. I think someone sent it to me. Let me go to my analytics here. I could probably find it. It's one of these somewhere. It's basically a chart, and it shows all of the Bitcoin. Let's have a look. Bitcoin treasuries, that's it. No, don't do that, sir. Yeah, we got on Bitcoin treasury. So I haven't actually checked this for a while, so this will be interesting for me to see as well. So actually, wait, is it Bitcoin? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, so this is really interesting information right now. So I said to you before that 8% of the market is institutions own. So why am I not speaking correctly, sir? Let me make this very simple, okay? So Bitcoin is owned by 8%. What am I? Bitcoin is owned by 8%. Legends, I haven't streamed in a fucking while, have I? I'm going insane. 8% of the Bitcoin market is institutional grade investors. So 8% of all Bitcoin is managed by institutions. 8% of all Bitcoin, okay? So I said in the beginning of this year, in January, I said, I don't think we're going to see an all-time high because we haven't got that institutional grade investment or institutional grade, interest, okay? So if the ETF comes along and it's like, because the ETF is going to come on here, this is the biggest public companies who own Bitcoin. These are the total in category. You've got all the way down here to the companies. So countries and governments that own Bitcoin. We've got private companies that own Bitcoin. You've got the ETFs that own Bitcoin. What's going to happen is the BlackRock ETF is going to go on this list. We've got all these ETFs, whatever, 18, whatever. 643,000 Bitcoin in the Grayscale Trust. We're going to have another one of those. Let's see how big it gets. Obviously BlackRock is one of the biggest money management firms in the world. I think it is actually the biggest. And look, it's going to be another Grayscale quite likely. We'll see how many Bitcoin they put on their sheet, on their balance, and we'll see, because they're going to have to buy up a lot of Bitcoin to be able to facilitate and offer that product. They're going to have some type of, they're going to have the liquidity, right? They need liquidity, so they need Bitcoin. So if this number jumps to 16%, then I think Bitcoin can make an all-time high this year. I think it's unlikely. I still don't think it's going to happen. I think it's more likely we're just going to stop at 48 if we do get a big rally. But I think ultimately this needs to go to 16%. And what you're really seeing is, okay, if you're a trader or an investor, or you're someone, oh shit, I just broke my chair. If you're someone who's okay, so there's traders and there's investors. The easiest trades in the world is when traders, day traders and retail traders, they front run institutions, okay? That's the easiest trade in the world, because you know that these guys have a lot of money. They don't really care about the slippage because they're just buying big in bulk, and they're coming into the market not with the premise of short-term gains for long-term investing. So as a retail trader or someone who's a small guy, if you're just front running institution, this happens at all types of markets, whether it's a big company buying Apple share, or it's a big company buying gold, or it's a government coming in and buying silver. You can do this with many, many different aspects, but with Bitcoin, it's this. The trade is this. If the ETF is clear, we're just sitting there, right, with our bags of crypto, right? And then we're just waiting for a massive fucking whale to just come along, swim along, and just start market smashing the fuck out of the crypto market. It's an easy trade because the person you're playing against, the player versus player, the player you're playing doesn't care about the price on the day-to-day. They just care about getting in for their long-term investment strategy, which means that you're just going to basically be dragged up on the coat, holding onto the back of the coat of the whale. So the ETF could be a significant moment like that. And like I said from the beginning of this video, it's not like this is going to happen tomorrow. I'm not saying that we're suddenly going to get this big spike in Bitcoin because of the ETF. If it does come out and it is approved, you're going to see some volatility. There's no way of proving that volatility came from the ETF, but I'll just say there's going to be some volatility. There's no point in trying to trade it and be like, oh, okay, what I'm going to do is wait and buy the exact day it comes out and it's approved. No. All that shit's for idiots. There's no way to prove it, so I'm saying that if it is approved, it's going to see some volatility. If BlackRock do need to buy the books and buy Bitcoin to get it into the liquidity of their ETF to facilitate that product to their investors and their institutional grade guys, then we know that there's going to be, on the medium to long term, there's going to be buy pressure, and it's going to ultimately mean the market is more mature, and also they're working with Coinbase, so the SEC can fuck off as well. So it's a really, really nice synergy. I really like it for the medium to long term, but it's not going to happen tomorrow, and there's no point trying to trade on the basis of that and trying to think to yourself, okay, well, now there's a new ETF coming out, I'm going to go away and I'm going to wait till the day, it's going to be, the news event's going to come out that's approved, and I'm going to click buy just before the news event, and then, oh no, but it came out earlier on a different exchange, and oh, this media outlet knew about it and bought. All that shit is for idiots. Do not trade the news. You will get absolutely solely obliterated. You'll be humbled more than a fucking monk in a monastery. You will be there like Reku'd, legends. It will be gone. So yeah, don't trade the news because guess what? Someone's writing that fucking article. Like, they know. Like, someone's writing the article into the news. And everyone has an agenda, and everyone has a premise, and everyone has an opinion. So you're just reading someone's opinion on something. The only way you can really do it is by looking at price action and then allowing these things to happen as you go with price. And then eventually, you know, you're just going to basically, you know, show me the price, I'll fucking tell you the news. Events as well, like 100% rigid fact events do have an effect on the price. On the medium to long term, there is no quantifiable evidence to say that they move the price on the short term, though. Anyway, I've done that fucking talk a million times. You need to go on my YouTube channel, guys, and go on my shorts. So I've got these new shorts I talk about here. Make this all clean for you. So I got this short section. If you guys... Actually, there's one short that didn't get enough views, and I'm upset about it, okay? So let me just turn my sound off. I hope you guys can still hear me. This short here, right? I don't know. I just think that this short should have got more views. I can't actually write into the chat. Can you guys see the chat? I can't see the chat. I literally cannot see the chat. And if I refresh this, it's going to dick me over and fuck me up. So let me see if I can do this a second, so if I can find the chat. Let's just see if I can do this. All right. Go live. Is the chat going to pop up or what? Haven't been able to see the chat this whole entire... Okay, guys. Can you see the chat? Hello? Hello? Okay, the chat. I've got 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 the chat. Okay, so guys, in this right now, if you could do me a favor, legends, do me a little favor. I like this short. I'm talking about the USA. I'm like, we need a revolution. Let's kill the fucking government. The commies are coming after you. See you on the flippers. Stop trying to mash us up. The USA need a fucking revolution, and it just got like 400 views. I was like, what? Like, what's going on? So if you could go watch that video, comment on it, and like it, just give it some love, you know, and just be like, yeah. Fuck the commies. I'm basically saying fuck the goddamn government. The SEC won't let me do what I want to do because they know me. They want my cryptocurrency, but they can't get me. The HMRC don't want to touch me, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so this is my shorts. But if you guys can give my shorts a bit of love, that'd be cool. Because I'm trying to pop them out there while I'm not doing my streams. Yeah, a guy called Trader G. Guys, I want to say as well, so I want to say a massive thank you, actually, to a few people in the community. Guys, if you're watching this right now, you know, 350, 400 people watching. You guys are like core MDX Legend community members, so I appreciate you guys, because obviously I've been streaming for like an hour, and you're still here. So I'll tell you, I want to say a few things. So the amount of people who have come and tested, tried, and sent me DMs, especially Jay, I'll shout out to Jay, who's been doing loads of stuff. The amount of motherfuckers who've been using this exchange to test it and trial it, massive hats off to you. Because you got to remember, this exchange, the liquidity providers I use are the best liquidity providers in the industry, okay? So this is 100% gold standard, never going to have a downturn, liquidity's there, order books are there. It's one of the best built dexes you can get in terms of it being reliable. But you got to remember, that's just my word. And so many people have come in, helped me out, tested it, trialed it. We had no downtime. The exchange is working really, really well. We want to get the liquidity up. We've got a big update coming this week as well. So alpha.exchange, massive thanks, guys. If you join my Telegram group as well, I'm posting the volume numbers so everyone can get the volume numbers. But this exchange, guys, no VPN, no KYC. It's a fuck you to the government. They can never take me down. There's absolutely 100% no way anyone can take this down through the server setups we've got in the countries that we're going through. Can't afford a VIP. Well, if you get VIP, you're going to get a lot of added content. My VIP group, I basically post my trade setups. Well, I basically speak just generally a lot of the time in there, just talking about stuff, you know, speaking about what I think is going to happen, price action movements, what I'm just generally honestly talking about my positions, you know, what I think is going to happen. It's just very easygoing general chat from me. And then I do my predictions as well. But we've had some really good ones, guys. This has basically played out perfectly. We've got the break now. What we're going to do is wait for the retest. This is one of the most simple trades you could ever do in history. But guys, we're actually getting a little bit of a move up now. I'm going to keep an eye on this. Can you tell me in the chat as well, guys? Are you long or are you short in the chat? Tell me what your positions are. And obviously, guys, if you do go to... So alpha.exchange is my product. But if you do want to use other exchanges, guys, go to the description box below because we have Bybit. We have Bitget. There's another decentralized exchange in the description, so you can use all those. And also, if you do sign up to... So if you want to get a free month of MDX Algo, and guys, if you haven't got MDX Algo, just for the group alone, it's worth it. We have like 6 professional traders in there doing daily videos and tutorials. You can get this for free, Legends, the first month. All you got to do is create an MDX Algo account, use the code MDX50, so you get a half price. That means that this will just cost $30 for your first month, right? That's literally fuck all. $30 for your first month. And then when you go into here, you click on claim free month, and then you can actually claim back $30 withdrawable funds. So you can claim back $30. All you got to do is click join Bybit with step 1, and then you can get the $1,000 free trade, which is a free position. You only need to deposit $100, and you get a $1,000 free position. None of this like you need to deposit all this crazy stuff, and you get $30 withdrawable funds. So literally, guys, all you got to do is follow the steps. If you already have a Bybit account as well, all you've got to do is make a new Bybit account with a new email, and then go on your old one and just turn it into... You can actually move your account into my account. So you can literally just say to the team, be like, yo, I want to turn my KYC. I want to turn my KYC into the MDX one I made. They'll move your KYC over, and then bang, you get $30 and you get a $1,000 free trade. All you got to do is literally... I would say do this. Just delete the Bybit account you already have, move the funds on somewhere else, create a brand new one, get an MDX Algo account. You get the MDX Algo account for free. That's literally a free month on mdxalgo.com. And you get the group and everything else and all the indicators. And then you can just come here and get a Bybit account, get a free $1,000 position and $30. So basically what you're doing, in essence, Legends, you are getting MDX Algo for free and a Bybit account with $30 to you and a $1,000 free trade. And all you got to do is follow the steps on mdxalgo.com. It's as simple as that. All you got to do is make an account with Bybit. And then obviously I would say this is how I'm using Alpha right now, okay? So Alpha, what I do is I use Bybit because I love Bybit, got great liquidity, etc., and it's got good fast matching order books. I use Bybit, but I hedge on Alpha to take profit. Because if you think about it, right? If I'm long on Bybit, and then I think, you know what? Right now, I think the market's going to come down a bit. I want to take a little bit of profit off Bybit, but I want to leave the position open. What I do is I just hedge it on Alpha. And if the price does go down, let's say P&L on Bybit goes down, but my P&L on Alpha goes up, what I'm in essence doing, I'm taking profit from a centralized exchange into my MetaMask wallet. Like, think about that. If you really think about that concept, you're in essence moving money without moving money. You're moving your profit from a centralized exchange to a decentralized exchange, and then that profit you made goes into your MetaMask wallet. So that's pretty interesting, Legends, because that's not any transaction. You don't have to go for any whitelist. There's no KYC. It's a pretty interesting thing. There we go, Legends. Here we go. Come on, Leggies. Like I said, guys, I am on a 200x short right now on Alpha. I did it earlier to show you how it works, but this will basically get stopped out, and that will be pushing the books even higher. So if it gets stopped, even better. $1,000 trade back into the books. Force this even higher. Let me have a look on this as well. So we've got this wick here, guys, we're coming up to right now on Bitcoin. This is the last level of resistance here. If it blows through that, we're coming up into this level here, which is going to be around 29, almost $30,000. I would say the probability is something like this, probably first. And then you get the buy. Do not buy right now. If you're watching this fucking video right now, guys, and hit the like button. Guys, if you're trading lower time frames right now, desecrate it. Yeah, Alpha. So someone said, what is Alpha? Alpha is my decentralized exchange. So you go on alpha.exchange and connect your wallet. This is completely 100% no KYC, no bullshit, no VPN. You can trade from wherever you want in the world. But Bybit, we have an offer on MDX Algo. So if you make an MDX Algo account, just use MDX50 to get the $30 MDX Algo account. And then you can actually, when you have an account, you can claim back your subscription for MDX Algo with Bybit, but you also get $1,000 as well, free position. So like, It's insanely valuable. I used to say to people, do this. Either move your Bybit account you have right now and speak to the support and move your KYC over to the account you made with my link. So if you make a Bybit account with my link, just move the KYC over. Or just delete the account you've got, fuck them off, and then make a new account with my link, and then you can get those perks through the $1,000, etc., and all that kind of jazz I really into. So let me drink some water. We're going to be sitting here for a while. It's nice to see the community in here. I've got to the general consensus that around there's a core MDX community, and it's about 400 people, right? Maybe 500 if it on a good day in this bear market. It's about 400 or 500 people is the core community who are on these streams. Obviously, there's more people around, but you guys are the legends. You guys are the ultimate traders. Yo, I'm using Alpha Pro and I love it. Simple and easy to use. Thanks, Randy. You're a legend, man. Yeah, we've been trying our best to make it as good as possible. Really work. We actually have a big update coming as well this week. So there will be an update coming to a few things which we have a problem with. Because if you remember, there's an issue here where you can't see the cancel. So if I put a stop loss on, right? Let's just do a stop loss at $30,000, right? I'll whack a stop in. When you actually enter your stop loss, okay? The cancel button is black, so you can't actually cancel it because you can't see it. You can cancel it by clicking that button there. See, it's cancelled. So just add another stop loss, $29,000 or something like that. So the issue is you can't see it, okay? So we're going to change that. We're going to change some of the colors. Got lots of new updates coming to this. And also a few other small things is like, you know, when you move things around, it's not really perfect. Doesn't look perfect. So we got work to do, but overall, the mechanism to buy and sell on Alpha is flawless. It works amazingly. They've never had any downtime. The trades go through. Everything works. And it's a great exchange to use for hedging. So, like, it's a backup, Legends, because you know it's always going to be there. Even if the front end goes down, you can still access your money on MetaMask. So this exchange here is to have how I use it. Okay, I'll just tell you how I use it right now. I use Bybit to trade bigger size because Bybit's a massive exchange, right? Billions of dollars a day. We're not doing billions of dollars a day on Alpha. It's still doing it's doing about, you know, probably like $5-10 million a day. So actually it's doing more than that actually. But I would say that you use Bybit as your main exchange, use the link in the description, get your bonuses, get MDX Algo, and then use Alpha as a hedging exchange. So say you're like, you know, I'm in a long on Bybit, but I would quite like to take profit, short it on Alpha. And you can use the two in a synergy. And it can put you in a position where actually you have more flexibility to be able to take profit, hedge, and ultimately have no fucking worries about some bullshit. Yeah, so I want to mention something about Alpha. The mobile app version isn't finished yet. You can literally just click buy and sell. But we do have that coming this week as well. We should have a front end for that ready. So the mobile app version will work. And also mobile, I don't really know about mobile in terms of, you know, how it works with MetaMask and stuff. You know, we will have a front end for it. My team has told me that we will have a front end for it. But I would stick to, I trade on laptops. You know, I'm an old school guy. I don't really trade on my phone. I don't know. I quite like it, having the access to go and buy it on my phone, just in case of emergencies and stuff. But I like having that access, but I don't like placing positions on it. I don't like actually trading on it. I like having the ability to monitor it if I want to, which can be for some people quite bad. But I don't actually like trading on it, to be honest. I'd rather just come to my desk, have my setup, analyze the markets, place my trades, and then fucking leave, and then live my life, and then monitor it if I really need to have that ability. Yeah, so I am managing 3 accounts, but I don't know how to set them up on Alpha. What do you mean, Cooper? There, NJ Cooper. What do you mean 3 accounts? So Alpha is just you log in with your MetaMask wallet, okay, or your Binance wallet, and what that allows you to do is trade on a decentralized platform. So it's nothing. It's not to do with Bybit. It's not linked to Bybit anyway. Yeah, significant break here, guys. Looking pretty good. I'm gonna do another hour probably on this stream. I feel like just chilling with you guys. You can ask me questions. We can chill out. Talk about Alpha. But yeah, there's some links in the description as well, Legends, to the other exchanges. I think I put in a few others. So we've got, yeah, there's obviously Bybit. You got Bitget, which doesn't do KYC either. And then you have Alpha Pro and Apex as well. So Apex is another decentralized exchange which is pretty good. But all the links are in the description, guys. You've got Alpha Pro, Apex. Obviously, we're going to try and make Alpha the biggest and best DEX in this space just over the next year or so. Do you got Telegram? Got link, fam? Yeah, so just type in MDX. I think if anyone's in the group... Oh, fuck it. What is my... It should be down below. It should be in the description, the TG. Telegram is, yeah, I think it's MDX Trading. I don't know if this link actually works. And let's have a look. So I'll post that. If you can tell me if that link works to our TG. This is the main Telegram group. Let's have a look what we got here. Yeah, so we're going to get a daily close tonight, guys, and I do actually, I like the look of this. You know, we've had a 10% move up. We've come to resistance pretty much to the nail. You know, if we did break back down through trend, you know, ideally, if it stops here, that's the best buy you're going to get. You know, that's a really good trade setup right there. You draw out your trade sets. You'd have that there. You'd have your stop loss probably down to around here and looking at aiming for the highs. So that's what you're looking at for that trade setup. You could be a little bit more aggressive on your stop if you wanted to. But, you know, it might come a little bit further into it. But, you know, that's a really nice trade setup right there, okay? That's your first trade. If we don't get a retest and you're not already in a position, what I'd probably wait to do is actually fade the highs. So if it just does that in one candle, you're probably then going to get something like that, okay? It's unlikely it's just going to be a candle which goes up forever. So that would be a good fade. The highs, maybe even here, actually. And you can actually see this. There's actually some new zones I could probably tag on. I don't want to make it too cluttered because I know, like, you know, the thing is with a lot of traders, they just put so many fucking lines on their charts. I can kind of identify the levels without really drawing them on. But here's your general idea, Sessions. Here we go. So yeah, there might be a move up, but these levels could be seen as resistance as well. We're at the first resistance zone now, but this is the first trade you're really looking for. If you're not in a position already, I'm already long from 25. I've actually been buying cash ever since we broke down like this. I've just been putting in all of my cash on the side into crypto. I actually did a tweet about this. I don't know if you guys can find it, but I did a tweet saying, you know, this next dip is going to be the most lucrative dip for the least amount of risk. The next dip after a bear market rally is always the best dip to buy because you've come out, you've broken a long-term downtrend bear market. You've had a bear market rally out of a downtrending market. You're then coming back to retest on a dip, basically trend, and try and change the market dynamic. And that's the least risky buy with the highest return you can do. Because you've got the whole entire bull market ahead of you, and you can get stopped out for a higher low. Like, think about it. You can't beat that's one of the best trades you can make. So, as of right now, I've been buying a lot of crypto. I'm back in pretty much. I'm probably only 1-2% USDT. I was at like 30% USDT at one point. It's funny how I sweat when I'm in USDT. I sweat more when I'm in USDT when I'm in Bitcoin, and that's funny because I've never really been like that. I've always been kind of happy in cash or gold, and that's changed. That's changed. It hasn't changed overnight. It's been happening since probably about 2021. But yeah, like I remember when I was trading Bitcoin on that massive rally up to 70,000, and I was just doing videos talking about how the dollar's just old and shit. Like that was funny. That was funny times. But I was trading gold when I was like between 22 and 24 years old. Like I was trading gold when I was so young. Yeah, so I kind of feel more sweaty being in USDT. So I'm actually out of USDT. I took a few shorts along here, which some of them played out. And I actually said in my VIP group, I was like, look, guys, I'm not actually going to increase my shorts from around here because we're going to get a break at some point. But it's 60 fucking days or longer. Let me actually get the perfect calculation of when we started. So from, yeah, it's 62 days of down. But now we've kind of broken. It's been around 67 days. So we've had about 62 days of down. I said in my VIP group, I was like, look, I'm not going to be adding to my shorts on this retest of this trend. I'm going to hesitate. I think we could get a continuation. I literally said that If you're in the VIP group, the thing about the VIP group is you got to keep up to date with the chats. So like I talk in Bitcoin and general bants. Actually, no, it's called the Banter Bar now. Join the Banter Bar, leggies. But let me just type in MDX. So this is how you get the group, legends. Just go to mdxalgo.com. I don't even know if that even worked, but you can just type that in. Yeah, ask me some questions as well. So MJ had a question in here. What do you think about Bitcoin will do next? Yeah, James Manford. You probably heard what I just said. I think we're going to retest. I think this is the place you buy. I think we're going to get something like this. That's what I think we're going to get. I think that's the most logical thing. If we did come a little bit lower than it, you know, that's fine as long as we get a higher low and then like that. Or it could be really dickish and just stop everybody out, come to here, do that, and then do this. You know, that is... I just think it's unlikely we're going to break 25 at this point. You know, if we get a Chad candle back down to like there, you know, even if we did that now, I still think it's a buy. Because if we get that massive move, you're likely going to get a bounce. Like I said, it's exactly the same situation as ADA. I hate ADA. You know, I'm not a proponent of its fundamentals. I don't give a fuck. But that is, you buy this. You know, you buy that. It's gone down 42%. I think ADA's going to come up to around here. Probably even retest this trend line. I think ADA, this could have been it. I'm not going to bank on saying that's it's it for ADA in terms of the bottom, because I know that Bitcoin's going to go on. It's going to begin the bull market, and altcoins are going to be volatile and probably lose a lot of liquidity, and they're going to be, you know, they have a lot of wicks. So I'm hesitant to say it's the bottom, but I think it's very, very close. And I bought ADA at 20, I don't even know what it was. It was about 4 a.m. for me. I remember just going through all the altcoins. It was about 24 cents I was buying. And I'm pretty happy with that because, you know, I don't give a fuck about the fundamentals. I just care about, you know, I just know ADA's likely going to have a decent run again. And that is, from what I bought out, you're looking at 11x. So if we go back to all-time highs on what I put in, that's 11x. There is no investment that you're not happy with getting 11x on, leggies. You know what I'm saying? Like a little 11x, leggies. Yeah, you're never going to be upset with 11x. Fucking hell. Yeah, 11x is good. Say it again, 11x. Yeah, so I'm okay with that. I think what happened, I think CRO is about 17x right now if it's high. I like that as well. I do think eventually CRO will probably, you know, at the top of the next bull market will probably come up to that level again. I don't see any problems with the business model of CRO. And like I said from the beginning, I think CRO is I look at the buying the token as almost like equity in the company. I know it's not, but it's closer to that than a lot of other tokens because it's not equity in any way, but it is so tied, the utility of the token, to the user base of the company. If they just keep growing users and more people are holding that CRO token for specific reasons within the app, you know, you're just going to have a supply and demand shock. Because if everyone's using it to stake for the card, or they're using it for yield, or they're using it for the exchange to get lower fees, you know, you're just going to see the price go up. That's why I like Ultra. Ultra's getting murked right now, though. Let's have a look at ultra.io. One of my favorite alts. Yeah, that's a hefty move down. Considering that it did launch, that's a 60% move to the downside in a matter of a month or so. So yeah, Ultra's getting super close to its lows. Again, this is one of those ones where I look at it more of an investment. I'm just holding on to it. It's just a fucking hodl bag. For them to realize their vision of the company they're trying to build. Essentially, that's what I'm trying to do there. Right, tell me in the chat, legends, what you got for me? What you got for me, leggies? It says new members. Yeah, become a member. And if you become a member, you get a badge. If you want to be a member, I would say probably become a member when the bull market kicks off. There's so much overhead supply on most of these alts. Isn't it better waiting for the new narratives and then investing in new tokens around the narrative? General question, not sure which is the best. look, I just think when I bought all these altcoins the other day after the SEC went out and, you know, said that all these tokens are securities, for me, it was a perfect synergy between a few different things. The first thing is there's something, a news event, which people are trading irrationally. They're trading irrationally because it's not like the fundamentals or any of these things have changed. So if you're an investor, you've got a lot of people who are basically looking at this in a completely irrational manner. You've also got the idea that, you know, Binance US, like, you know, it's just Binance US and a few different exchanges. Like, it was Binance US and Coinbase they went after, but you gotta remember these exchanges, you know, especially Binance, they don't do that much volume in the USA. So, you know, whatever, who gives a fuck? Binance isn't even an onshore US company. Coinbase will just move and then go to a jurisdiction which is more friendly. So you've got an irrational price movement down. It's created beautiful technicals for me, which make me look at that thinking very, very significantly oversold. That's why I bought Dogecoin, ADA, BNB, and CRO. And strictly through technicals, I bought these altcoins to hold until the end of the next bull market. So that's my premise. And like, I'm not looking at trying to catch a narrative. I'm not trying to time the bottom. I'm not trying to look for any of these things. I'm just saying to myself, you've had a very irrational, and there's been a moment which has created volatility. I want to capitalize on buying the fear in that specific scenario because I think that the fear was not just. It's just fucking US, you know, who cares? Like the SEC with this whole BlackRock thing as well are just going to look like a laughing stock because they're going to try and, it's almost going to be like when you have, I don't know, like let's think of an example. It's like when you had the bully, there used to be the big bully at school, right? And he used to be, what's up, babe? Okay, no, babe. I can't say it like, I lost my story. Would you want to, just, come on. What are you doing? Come on, babushki. Good night, babu. See you tomorrow. Okay. Right, I needed a kiss before I do my story. You re-jogged it. So fucking, what was I gonna bang on about? I don't even know what I was talking about now. Oh yeah, so it's like the big bully at school. So like when you're all kids, like young kids, right? There's one big bully. And everyone's like, shit, you got to listen to the big bully because he's bigger than everybody. And this is when you're kids. Then what happens is everyone goes through their growth spurts. And everybody grows. And everyone else suddenly gets bigger than the bully. You know, the kid. He's not the bully anymore. It's not the big kid on the block. All the other kids start growing. And now he's the small one and you're the big one. You're like, yeah, shut up, bro. And he's trying to play his same tricks on you. You know, the bully's trying to play the same tricks. And you're like, shut up, man. Like, you're small little shit now. You've got no power. That's what I kind of think about in the US. It's like the US used to be the big bully. But now all these other nations are coming up and they're growing and they're like, you know what? We don't give a fuck what you say. And I think people are like that as well. And it's like now, eventually, is the SEC going to be this little like, you know, small little man syndrome bully, like trying to exert his power he used to have. But it's like, yeah, dude, we don't listen to you anymore, bro. You're just a piece of shit. We don't listen to your shit anymore because you're small. And you're irrelevant. So that's what I think about the SEC. What a redonkulous fucking story, eh? Oh, but yeah, that's the SEC. Don't let me be. The HMRC, they can't get me. Yeah, so I just think the SEC are going to become more of a laughing stock. They do have some levers they can pull into the future, which could be detrimental to the US market. But the more they fuck up the US market, the more they're going to ruffle the feathers of the US people. That's why I did that video. You know, I wanted people to get behind that video. You know, the more people, it's going to ruffle up the feathers of the US citizen. Eventually, they're probably going to get rid of fucking, I can never pronounce his name, Gensler. They're probably going to get rid of him anyway. So, like, and eventually they'll probably be more open to crypto. But, you know, whatever's going to happen, they're just going to move cryptocurrency companies out of the USA. It's essentially detrimental to future generations who want to participate in crypto. But the market is not just America. The market is the world. And, you know, companies can move. It's not like the government can force you to have your company in the USA. And if we do get to that point, we know the commies have won. God damn it. Can we get this trade, please? But yeah, guys, go over to Alpha Pro, and if any testing, any testing you do on it, trade on it, show us screenshots in the group. You can see the MDX trading group is here. Can you guys just tell me if that link to MDX trading is working? But yeah, ultimately, if you use alpha.exchange, post all the stuff. I will do a bounty as well for bugs. I'm probably going to do a bounty for bugs next month, after this first month and this next update. So if you use it, you test it. If you find any big bugs, we'll reward you for it. Long to short ratio is flipping right now, guys. Let's have a look. See, this is what I'm talking about. MDX Algo will just plot out all of the resistance areas for you. We've got a lot of liquidity above us right now, which is a good sign. You know, it's a good sign. Okay, it's a good sign, and also it's a bad sign because we have a good sign. It means that there's a lot of area, a lot of liquidity, which would like to get tagged. The other way is for a Bitcoin bull is that there is a lot of resistance still to go. But that can work both ways. But you can see here, guys, we have this nice little area here, just stopping as resistance. It's just got all these levels tagged in for you. The darker or the more vibrant the red or the green, the more significant it is. And you can see here that we're actually at resistance right now. So it wouldn't surprise me to see that happen. And then potentially something like that. That really wouldn't surprise me right now. We have a TP as well. You know, something like this. That would not surprise me at all to see that. If we don't get it and we discontinue, then hey, presto. We're moving on to the next levels, but I've only taken a small short on Alpha just to show you how it works. I've actually got a 200x leverage short open. At the moment, we are 156% underwater, which means $8. Oh no, $8. That's not even the same price as going to a restaurant these days. I remember when $8, right? I remember when £6 could buy you like your whole lunch. I remember when £6 could buy you like a sandwich, a drink, like some fruit or something, and like that was like £6 could do that. £6 is about $8. £6 now. You can't even get like. I haven't been to England in a while, but £6 literally could get you 2 pints of milk now. like what happened, legends? They printed up. What do you think? Oh, yeah, and guys, can you tell me in the chat, what do you think about the new setup? I've got like a bigger camera of me now. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's not good? Tell me in the chat what you think of the new camera setup. Is it crisp? Do I look sexy? Do I look good, ladies? Do I look good? Yeah, I know. The barber did short my hair. I can't lie. I keep having to move it. Let me have a look at my hair. Yeah, it looks so bad. Look at it. The barber shorted my hair, bro. He didn't just short it. He nuked it. He nuked my hair, bro. My hairline, yeah. My barber, yeah. Fucked up my hairline, yeah. I told him as well, I'm going to sue the cunt. I don't know if you've heard that, if you've seen that video of the guy who's like, my barber, yeah. My barber fucked up my hairline, yeah. And he's like that. I told him as well. I told him how to do it, bruv. He fucked up my hairline. I got to take a week off work. I'm going to sue the cunt. If you guys seen that video, it's so good. Have you guys seen that video of the black guy who's got his hair wrecked? Yeah, it's always sexy. Thanks, brother. Yeah, meal deal was £3. The meal deal was Yeah, what the fuck am I talking about? In Tesco's, the meal deal was £3. I suppose it was from Tesco's, so you weren't really buying food, but like, you know, you were just buying some collided together chemicals and some emulsifiers with some E-numbers. But yeah, it was still £3. I don't know how much is it in Tesco now? I reckon it's 6. I reckon they've doubled it. Or it's at least 5. It's $4.99 now, isn't it? They would have gone for $4.99, wouldn't they? They're so scummy. Oh, they did $4.50. That's still like 30% increase. Guys, hit that like button as well. We're going to wait for this trade to play out. Let's see what we're going to get here. I want to be here for a bit longer, sitting here chatting my cheese. Let's put Bitcoin treasuries over here. So I've got infinite market caps who are out on bitty. Still number 12 in the world. Not too bad. Not too bad. We're still the same as some banks and Visa. I thought they were gonna do 499. I was like, yo, I'd like the circle with your face on the left side because the chat scrolls on the right and you are covered by the chat box. What? I'm covered by the chat box? Well, the thing is, I did it on this side so I don't like get in the way of the price action, you know? So you can see the price action. Maybe it is better on the other side. It's annoying. It's just like, where do I put it? It's in the way. Classic BLT. You can get a pint for £3 at the pub on the platform at Doncaster Station. Yeah, it's pretty lit. £4.50 is 50% up. Yeah, it's crazy. New setup looks good, man. Thanks, Secret Agent, man. You're a legend. But you're too much of a legend. You might not be giving me critical information. That is that the truth, or you just being nice? MDX Crypto, how is the liquidity on the DEX? Are there more or less nasty wicks due to liquidity gapping? Yeah, so we have liquidity providers that are the gold standard of the industry. So we literally have right now, between the price action, you can look at it yourself. I can't really see it, it's so small. Between 8.2 and 8.100. So the spread right now, well, I can't actually see the spread because I'm not on one, but we've got either side of the books 1 million basically on either side. 1 or 2 million, give or take, right now. So it's pretty decent. You know, you can trade pretty decent size. Also, there is a massive opportunity on alpha.exchange because what happens is, because there is slightly less liquidity than other big exchanges, what you do see a lot of the time happen is the price action on Bybit or Binance or OKX will move and alpha will lag sometimes 10 seconds after the move because no one's clicking the green or red button at that point. So like what you can do is you can almost play arbitrage with leverage on alpha because you're going to get these sharp moves on other exchanges, and Bitcoin does lag behind quite a lot of the time. So it can work both ways, but I've played some very interesting trades, and I have a friend of mine using it as well who's been playing some hilarious shorts. You know, the price moves down on a lot of other exchanges, it doesn't move on alpha, and then actually, if you market smash lots of small orders, you can actually push it down yourself, and then other people will catch up later. So it's an interesting dynamic because you can actually. It works both ways, obviously, because sometimes the price won't move exactly to that price. But quite a lot of the time, you can see other exchanges move. Alpha doesn't move, and then you can get in. It kind of gives you like an extra few seconds to get in on that. So it's actually pretty interesting, and I actually do quite like the dynamic. So yeah, you can check it out. Go on alpha.exchange. And literally, guys, like the good thing about it is like I'm not recommending anybody to use anything all the time, right? I'm a guy who I don't even use everything all the time. I use Bybit, I use OK, I use Alpha. I've like so many different trading platforms. But the way I would use it is you have Bybit, you have OK, you have another one, whatever you got, and then you use it as a hedging exchange. And then you slowly move money from your centralized exchanges to Alpha. Because in essence, if you want to take, if you're long, right? Think about it. If you're generally biased to the long side in a bull market, and let's say, you know, you're long from 25k on Bybit, if you short the exact same amount on Alpha, what you've done is you've just taken profit, right? But you've still got the position open on Bybit. So what you can do is you can constantly keep yourself open, right? And then if the price action does come back down, right, and then you make money on Alpha, but the Bybit trade has lost P&L, you've basically just mitigated the loss because you've made the money on Alpha. Then you take profit on Alpha, you've moved money from Bybit to Alpha, you've still got the position open, it's fine, support somewhere else at a higher low, and then it rallies again. You never close the position, so you got the exposure still open. So that's the way I would use it. You put rank in there, legend, yeah. But yeah, so that's the way you can use it. And I think what I'm going to do is use Bybit obviously as well. And then I'm going to slowly transition more and more into Alpha as we build it out, make it better, make it smoother, make it more just a better general experience. Because right now we still got things we want to work on. for UI, etc. But right now it's just how it looks. I've got mine set up with the TradingView. And also, guys, you can have 4 TradingView charts on here as well. So this is a feature that you would usually get with TradingView Pro. But you can make this really, really big, and you can have 4 TradingView charts on here. And that's another feature which, you know, you have to have Pro on TradingView. So, yeah, it's pretty good to get that. Let's get it back up on the screen, leggies. Look at this beautiful move from Bitty. So we're around resistance right now. It wouldn't surprise me to see a bit of resistance here. Let's have a look at some momentum indicators as well and stochastic. So stochastic is overbought on the daily. So we're likely gonna get the daily close tonight. I'm trying to work out what the daily close is in England. I think it is 2 or 3 a.m. actually. I think the daily close. Well, I'm in Cyprus, so when it's 2 a.m. in Cyprus, it's the daily close in England. If someone can just check that for me. Yo, Mike C, you turned up, brother. I was missing you, man. It felt so cold and just like not right, not having Mike C in the community, in the chat. To be honest, I haven't streamed for a month, and I think at our highest point we had 500 MDX legends in here. So, you know, it's good to see that the core community of the MDX Legends community is stuck around, you know. I haven't streamed for a month, so we're still talking about the meal deals, legends. I can't believe it used to be £3 for a meal deal. I swear at one point it was £2.50 as well for a meal deal. I swear there was a few little spots, like, you know, there's little drive-ins, a few like petrol stations, a few little spots. They're like, we're going to try and lower this down. We're really going to be like, we're going to undercut Tesco. I remember Tesco was £3. I used to go into Tesco when I was at college, when I was at school. We always used to walk down to Tesco to the local petrol station one. I used to get the chicken fajita wrap with, what was it? Did I get like orange juice? Like that. It was called Oasis orange juice, like a Oasis drink and cheese strings. And I used to nick loads of cheese strings as well. So I used to get the meal deal, but I'd always just pocket a few cheese strings. They were the good old days, man. That was when I was like 13 or some shit, or 12. Pack of cigs now £12. Yeah, I know. Yeah, tell me the prices in England. How many? Okay, where? Put your flag of where you're from right now in the chat. Put your flag of where you're from in the chat, and then tell me where you are from. Yeah, tell me where you're from. Are you from England, legends? Are you from Warrior? I always wanted to invent chicken strips. Okay, so no one's English so far. We got a Ruski. Здравствуйте, мой друг. We got, I don't know what flag that is. Canada, Morocco, England, Surrey. Hello, how are we? From the UK, but living in the Netherlands. Oh, no, nice. Scotland, England, USA, Scotland, London, England, Amsterdam. Nice. Amsterdam's good. Lots of people from Amsterdam. I'm from Australia, visiting England ATM, originally from England, in London. Sunshine Girl. I know Sunshine Girl. I remember that name. What's cracking? Portugal, lovely. Good place down there. Let's all hit that like button as well, guys, if you like the decks. It's good. I haven't streamed for a month. I thought I was going to have like one person watching this, but we had about 500 people at one point watching this stream, which is nice to see. The core community is here, you know. I don't think you guys will ever go. I'll be streaming in a year or 2 or 5, and you'll be like, yeah. I'm going to be starting a new show soon, though, as well. So I'm going to be starting a new podcast in Dubai. I live in London. Thoughts on Sol? I did buy some, not on the last dump, but I have got an investment in Sol. It is an investment. It's not a big one. It's purely technicals. I just thought I'd get some, considering the price is pretty low. But it's not my biggest. It's probably like gone down. You can get my altcoin portfolio at mdxalgo.com, but it's not my top 10. I don't think anymore. I got in very early, but I sold it all out last bull market. Sunshine Girls, a lovely girl, and I love your anti-commie stance. Of course, fuck the commies. Communism is... I'm not gonna... I've spoken about it so much. Let me send you guys a short. And I want you guys to give me your honest opinion on it, okay? About this point. I've got everything off. Yeah, so this short here, I want you guys to go watch this. There's like 300 of you in here. Go and watch that short and comment on what you think about it. Okay, it's about socialism, capitalism. You understand the point. And the point I talk about is, you know, what socialism really is. But guys, I know it's deep and it's dark and it's tough. But fuck the commies. That's what Andrew Tate's fighting against. Andrew Tate's not fighting against the Matrix. He's not fighting against like some private enterprise. Well, it could be a private enterprise, but they'll be manipulating the government to get the power. But what Andrew Tate is freaking fighting against is communism. It's an entity that wants to control everything. They want to control your mind. They want to control your money. They want to control your business. They want everything to be centrally controlled, either through a private enterprise which manipulates the government to do so, or the government itself. Okay? And that's what communism is. It's just everything owned by the government. And the funny thing is that it's not really communism at the moment. It's fascism, because fascism is a synergy between private enterprise and government enterprise, or government institution. So at the moment, everything's fascist, and he's basically fighting against fascists / communists. But at the moment, the fascists want to control everybody through the government, but it's private enterprise trying to do it. And then you have the whole issue with, you know, why do they want to silence somebody like Andrew Tate? It's because Andrew Tate has the ability, okay, and not to everybody, but he has got the power and ability to influence many minds, which could ultimately lead to, let's say, anarchy against the government, or some sort of revolution against the government, or just against the powers that be. And that's what these people don't like. And so no one really knows who it is, but it's the fight is against fascism and communism. And I think the easiest way to describe what the enemy is, it is the enemy is communism, right? But we're not there yet. And if you say that the enemy is communism, then actually what you have to do is you have to say that the enemy is socialism, because socialism is just a bracket term for communism, Marxism, fascism, elitism. So socialism is just a bracket term for some type of government-controlled ism. And my argument is this: socialism needs government control. The only way you share everything in an economy with everybody is through government enforcement, okay? So you need government enforcement in socialism to share out the resources that everybody has. You have to have some government to do that. My argument is this: we don't want socialism, because with free market capitalism or anarchy, I don't agree with anarchy, but I'd say free market capitalism with a very, very small government, we believe in private ownership, voluntary exchange, and no big central government to share all the things. So my argument is this: if we have free market capitalism, we can never have a Hitler, a Putin, or a Stalin, because you can never have big government having the power to influence the people. So the commies, they want big government because big government is easy to enforce people to do things. The bigger the government, the more power you have to say, put a mask on. We're going to close your business. You need to do this. You can't wear that. Fucking take a vaccine. So the bigger the government, the more power the communists have to exert that on the people. My point is this: if we don't have a big government in the first place, there is no government to exert things against the people when they don't want to. Because free market capitalism is about private ownership, voluntary exchange, and small government, no government, ideally. So if there's no big government, the commies can't get you. That's my point. And people get so upset about this point, but I'm just like, guys, I'm just saying that I'm just not propping up, or I'm not going to promote a system like socialism, whichever way it goes, whether it's fascism, Marxism, communism, elitism. I'm just not going to be the one who's going to promote that system, because that system can lead to a Putin, a Stalin, a Hitler, or at this point, a fucking Joe Biden. You know, he's getting onto it as well. So I'm just saying I don't promote that system because it can lead to bigger problems. I just believe in a system which believes in freedom, free market capitalism, private ownership, voluntary exchange, and no big government. Because if you have no big government, you can't have a Putin, a Stalin, or Hitler at all. That's my point. So please watch this video and like the video if you like it and comment what you think on the video. I posted the video. I'll pin the video now. Because, like, that's the video, right? But, like, the only reason I'm fucking talking about this more and more and more and more, I've always thought about this, right? I've always known the situation, right, between, you know, the isms, if you so call it the isms, you know, the capitalism, are you a capitalist, are you a socialist, right? I've always had this discussion with people, but, like, at the moment it's getting really important because you're seeing the powers that be, you know, you're seeing the actual... What's the word for it? Let me make this point, okay? You're seeing the not execution, but you're seeing it's not execution around the You're seeing them. You're seeing this happen and unfold in real time, and you're seeing these people exerting their power against Andrew Tate. So you're seeing this happening right now, because why are they going after this guy? Like, you know, it's been 14 years since all these things happened, you know, with these women on this sexual trafficking thing and like whatever. Like, whether it's right or wrong or whether it's happened or not. And obviously it's wrong that it's happening, but I'm saying whether he's done it or not. It was 14 years ago. Why has it all come out now as soon as he has this huge influence? It just doesn't make sense. And this is why we're talking about this fucking communism, fascism shit. It's because this is the enemy. It's not the Matrix. That doesn't mean anything. The Matrix doesn't have any... The Matrix doesn't put you in a position... Why am I just... Fucking hell. I'm just showing the communism video and it's just constantly going on behind me. I'm literally turning into like some crazy political person. I'm just sitting here talking with my own video about communism behind me. Oh, dude, we're going places, man. We're doing some weird shit. I'm trying to say that we're seeing these people exerting their power against him, and it's obvious who it is. It's the commies, it's the fascists, it's the people, it's the wokies. Unfortunately, wokeism is just fascism. It's just an extreme version of socialism. So what you're seeing is you're just seeing socialism winning, and you're seeing the Klaus Schwabs of the world who want to own all of your shit and you be happy. These people are the ones who are winning. And that is good against evil. If you think that, okay, what's good? Good is freedom, evil is control. Socialism, okay, think about this. MDX for president, fucking hell, I'm not even in the US, but MDX 2024, hey, let's go, brother, I'm going to go and change my biological sex. And I'm going to change my biological birth certificate, like Obama. No, I don't know what to say about it. It's the thing is with it, right? I was saying something a second ago before someone shouted, fuck, I can't remember. Yeah, no, it's like this, right? It's like what? I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, you know, the whole commie thing. It's like it's just like wokeism, and it's just basically the Klaus Schwabs. If you think about think about good and evil, and like Tate even said this. I'm just going to say this point, all right? Think about good and evil. Good and evil is about freedom and control. So good is freedom, evil is control, okay? Then think about capitalism and socialism. Capitalism is freedom, socialism is control. So good and evil. Capitalism is good, socialism is evil. And then you take it to the next step where you say, what was it again? What's my point? I wrote it down on a tweet somewhere. Basically... Yeah, so that's it. So good and evil, right? Good is freedom, evil is control. What is the point? The point is that ultimately, when you think about it down a few levels, what are we fighting against? And who are we fighting against? And when Tate comes out and he says, you know, I'm good and they're evil, and you know, there are issues and we need to fight against the Matrix, okay? What, in essence, he's saying that we need to fight for freedom against control. And think about capitalism or socialism. Capitalism is about ultimately putting freedom first, and socialism is about having control to share people's things. So the war is against socialism. Like, that's what it's against. And that's most people most people will identify as socialists. But the problem is that that's not right or correct if you're thinking in a way of good and evil, because, you know, the only difference between a socialist and Hitler is their moral convictions. It's all about morals and convictions, the convictions of your morals. That's what socialism is all about. So it might just be good for Klaus Schwab. Like, Klaus Schwab just thinks he's good. He just thinks that it's good that he's taking your things and sharing them because, you know, you're not going to own anything, but you're going to be happy. He thinks that's good, but he's controlling you, which is then, in essence, seen as evil. Someone controlling you without your will is evil. Like, that's against the fucking rules. I should be able to do what I fucking want. The point is never negotiate with terrorists. But I'm saying that it's against good and evil, and the good and evil is freedom against control. And like, that's what I'm getting pissed off about talking about it so much, is like, because Tate isn't really doing a very good job of articulating who the enemy is. Whenever they ask him who the enemy is, he always tries to side chop or like bob the question. He's like that, bobbing like a fucking boxer. He's never answering the question. I just think it's because he doesn't have a clear understanding of what the enemy is. And even that guy, Patrick Davis, he was even mentioning it in that interview he did. He was like, have you read the book called like The True Socialism or the True Communist or something? He's trying to egg him on to be like, so who is the enemy then, brother? Who is the enemy? Like, what's going on? Who is this? But he's bobbing his head and saying it's the Matrix, like it's some fucking game. It's like, no, dude. We're fighting against fucking... Basically, eventually we're going to be fighting against another Hitler at this point. Depending on... It's going to be a weird version of it, though. It's going to be like, we're not going to be fighting against a government dictatorship like a Hitler. We're going to be fighting against like this weird hybrid between private enterprise who own the media, who are using the government to manipulate you. So it's going to get real dicey. And they ain't stopping, legends. These people are not stopping. It's a weird synergy, and I think like we got to be careful, because at the end of the day, like it is going to turn into like Nazism. And we all know the definition of Nazi: National German Socialist Party. The war is against socialism, legends. I'm not going to bang on about it any further, but the war is against socialism, and more specifically fascism and communism. And then we in this community, people who buy Bitcoin, I think most people who buy Bitcoin would identify themselves as at least free market individuals. You know, whether they think capitalism is right or wrong, but they would say that they're free market capitalists to a degree, because if you buy Bitcoin, you're a free market capitalist because you're buying Bitcoin for private ownership, voluntary exchange. You don't want to be taxed on it. That's why you're buying it, to evade taxes. And you believe that Bitcoin is a way to mitigate out government control over money. So Bitcoin is the purest form of exerting your free market capitalist views on the world, because in essence, what Bitcoin stands for is free market capitalism. It's private ownership, voluntary exchange, not paying tax, and dismantling big government. Because you don't need government to own Bitcoin. You own it privately in your head as your numbers with no third party, and you're using it to evade or circumvent someone having control over you through tax. So Bitcoin is the ultimate plea, or is the ultimate revolution of a free market capitalist fighting against a socialist state. That's why Andrew Tate had so much Bitcoin. So this is the funny thing about the whole situation. Most people would be like, no, but I'm actually a socialist. I believe in sharing. I pay my taxes. I want to do this. But that person is at the same time buying Bitcoin, holding it in a ledger, not paying tax on it, trying to have private ownership. You know, it's all out of theory. These people. It's all, you know. It's like this, right? I'm a socialist, and I believe that everything should be generally shared in the economy. You know, if you make something, you know, you should pay 50% tax, and you should share it. And if you do well, you should, you know, give it back to the community and give it to people who are poorer. And the socialists, they're always pointing the finger at the guys who are working hard to make the things. They're always like, yeah, you need to fucking do this. You need to halve your things and share everything. But as soon as it's them who has to do it, as soon as it's the socialist who has to do it, he starts scribbling and saying, no, but I can't afford it, and I'm morally wrong. I don't want to share. They want everyone else to share everything but not themselves. Because everyone's a free market capitalist by nature. Everyone's a free market capitalist by nature. You're not like going to the tax man and giving them more tax. You're always trying to pay less tax. You always want to own more things for your family and your future and your people. You don't want to give out more things to people you don't know, and you don't want to renovate someone else's house. You want to renovate your house. Everyone's doing everything in self-interest and their own greed. But being a greedy capitalist is better than being a greedy socialist, because at least a greedy capitalist can't forcefully steal your things from you like a greedy socialist, because they'll just come and take it as a tax and put you in jail if you don't do it. So, yeah, it's a funny situation we got here, legends. I'm ranting on anyway, but I just realized I'm not watching you live. Yeah, I'm sitting here chilling. But yeah, the whole thing is a cluster, really. It's you know, we need to ultimately, you know, everyone's a free market capitalist by nature, guys. Like, and free market principles are what ultimately enforce, you know, more integrity and responsibility in people. Because the less you can rely on a big socialist government to share everything and you not do anything, the less responsibility and the less drive you have to do things for yourself. And that means that you have a less integrity in general in the society. Because you're like, oh, I won't bother. It'll get shared. The government will do it for me. The government will do it. I don't have to do it. The government will fucking do it. Don't worry about it. You know, I don't have to worry about my health because the government will sort me out, you know, in the NHS. Yeah, it's all messy. So, like, I don't know what the answer is. One day, legends, I'll come back to England and I'll come up with a plan, and I'll go as an independent into the government. I'll be like, listen, legends, you are going to fucking listen to me right now. I am going to get the vote of the people to literally be a dictator, right? And I'm going to be a very special dictator, because remember in Rome where I think it was Pompey, I can't remember. Oh, no, it was Caesar. No, was it Caesar? Cardinal. Anyway, I think Caesar put himself and made himself a dictator for 10 years to fix the fucking problems. I'm going to do a similar synergy to this. I'm going to come to England and be like, look, I'm going to get the people to vote me in as a dictator for 5 years. And I'm going to dictate what the fuck happens to this country. And then I'm going to literally, throughout being a dictator in the UK, I'm going to completely dismantle the government in every single regard. I'm going to take out every single public-owned entity, and I'm going to slowly dictate who gets it, divide it up, and try and make it as fair as possible into the free private sector, who gets what, for what bid, and especially which country invest. And then I'm going to get all of the military back into the UK. They're not going to be fucking sailing around doing all this bullshit. And the military are going to support all of the public services. The nurses, the engineers, the fucking pilots, whatever they're going to do. They're all going to go back into the businesses which are public. They're going to support them in the transition. And as they support them, they're going to keep them running, because there's going to be a little bit of there's going to be some fucked up shit happening when you do this transition. It's going to be like throwing a fucking spanner into a jet engine. It's going to blow up some shit, because it's obviously not going to be easy. But then I'm going to get all the military. I'm saying I'm going to get them like I'm going to do it. Like, I'm not even fucking in England, and I'm not the Prime Minister. But I'm saying I'll get the military to support the public services in the transition in becoming private. I'm going to get these individuals to support them throughout the transition to becoming private. I'm then going to eradicate all of the taxes and then just print the pound, which is in essence taxing, at probably a higher rate. And then I'm going to say to the people of the UK, we're going to print these pounds. We're going to use these pounds I'm printing to invest into the things to keep them going for a prolonged period of time. When that eventually runs out of juice, we'll flip the whole economy onto a cryptocurrency standard, and we'll use something like Bitcoin, maybe a Bitcoin, something to do with Bitcoin and gold, maybe a synergy between the two, where you have gold backed, and because when Bitcoin and gold start pricing each other, it's going to get mental. So we need gold in the equation as well to really create stability in the economy. We need Bitcoin, but we need something which is gold as well to be able to price each other, and then flip the economy onto some sort of fixed or scarce supply asset. And that's the way to fix fucking the UK. And then draw back the government to the level that maybe there's 1 or 2% tax, which everybody's prepared to pay, because there is a level to defend the nation, which everybody is prepared to pay a price for that. And that level is going to be something like the military. You can't really rely on completely over social policing today. So there'd have to be some sort of enforcement. There'd have to be some sort of legal enforcement, police and military system. But that will be a lot, way less under the means. But there's always a price to pay for something to, protect public safety. Because at the end of the day, if we want to protect life, liberty, if we want to protect life, freedom, and property, you're going to have to pay a price for something, because freedom, to support freedom from an external force would mean military intervention. So say someone invaded the UK, then you'd have to have a military, and that would be protecting freedom for the people. So you need to have, I'm not an anarchist. I don't believe in just no government. I believe there should be a government. I just don't believe the government should have anything to do with any private enterprise, which is basically everything except the military and the police. Anyway, I just went on an absolute rant about my manifesto to the UK to try and get this country to be better. But I got a long way to go if that's ever going to happen. I don't even know how you can even get into power in the UK, and I'm definitely not doing it in my 30s. Fuck that. Yeah, so, yeah, in essence, yeah. So I'm going to it's going to be a military dictatorship, right, for my reign as the dictator. But I'm going to dictate the country into a more free market principle society. So after my 5 years or 10 years, whatever I mean, yeah, well, this is the thing, right? With good intentions. So the problem is about dictatorships and socialism as a whole is that you're only relying on the intentions of the individual to do good things, okay? So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to persuade the people to give me the power to do the good intentions, which are truly good, to then dismantle the government as a whole. The mandate is to be the dictator, to destroy the dictatorship. That's the mandate. So it's definitely never going to get in. That's the problem with this whole system. But that's the only way I can really see it happening, and that's happened multiple times in history as well. When Rome fell into absolute disarray with the famines, you had someone like Julius Caesar appoint himself as cardinal and, in essence, being a dictator, and then he fixed it from there. Sometimes you do need to have one individual with insanely good morals and intentions to sway the boat into the right direction and then give back the freedom to the people. The problem is that, yes, a dictatorship, the only difference between Hitler and then me is good intention. The only difference between me doing that system in England as a dictator, the only difference between me and Hitler is moral convictions. The only thing I'm saying is that my moral conviction is to dismantle the dictatorship in its whole by the process I'm trying to build. So that's kind of like what I'm trying to say there. But that's the only way to do it, because you couldn't do that. I couldn't dismantle the government in a diplomatic way in any sense. It'd have to be, you got to do what I say and that's it. Because you can't have everyone else coming in, so it just never get done. It'd be impossible. And then I would just say to myself after my 5 years, now I denounce myself down. I say, look, I'm not a dictator. And then I give back the power, which won't be the power anymore, to the government which is there. Promise? You're asking all the right questions, mate. But yeah, that is the only way to do it. It's a beautiful synergy between the two things. I need to get a fucking new haircut, legends. But yeah, it's like then I'll give back the government, and then have a lot less power, and then we'll go back to square one. And then they'll slowly start telling people to wear masks when they're not supposed to. Again. Look at this crabbing its way up. Right, I just spoke about all that shit for too long. Tell me in the chat if you're enjoying my rant. We still have 220 people listening to that rant. So, if you're enjoying it, you're enjoying it. Yeah. Black Worm, missed you, Max. Yeah, I'm back, dude. I'm just chilling out here in Saipi, living the dream. Haven't done a drunk stream in a while. Haven't done the drunk stream. Yeah, I feel like my rants these days are getting more and more like politically, but not even politically, just generally like, it's not political. It is kind of political, but I don't want to see it's politics, because politics is just like talking, oh, well, Corbyn did this yesterday, and oh, look at this policy here. It's more like, I'm talking more and more about like society as a concept, or the systems that allow societies to run, because I feel like we are on a pivotal point right now between the whole fucking thing. I really do think, yeah, ideology is the kind of not the right word though. It's kind of like more of a societal, like systematic systems, like what the correct utopia or dystopia is. But it's like, I just think it's fucking, I don't know, right now with this whole Andrew Tate thing, and then you got on the same day, you know, Trump's getting indicted, or he's getting charged on 36 things. I don't think he's been indicted yet, but that's going to happen. And he's been charged on 36 counts of some bollocks, and you got Tate being charged. And it's all like, why are these two dudes who are kind of similar in what they stand for both getting attacked at this level right now? They're both the same kind of guy, really. Like, obviously, Tate and Trump are different, but they stand for freedom and for the people a bit more. Like, that's kind of what they stand for. And, like, they're both getting attacked simultaneously for the same things. It's all, you know, they tried to go after Donald Trump with the sexual stuff. You're like, oh, you raped, you know, this woman who, like, used to be a porn star or something. And then you got Tate getting battered as well. It's just like, what? I was never one to get into all this stuff, thinking like, there's the Illuminati and the commies and all this. And I'm just like, thinking to myself, but what? Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, are these dudes just both bad people? Tate and Trump? Or are they just being put into a light where they look like bad people because someone else doesn't like them? That's the question. It's like, are they just cunts? Are they just bad people? Is Andrew Tate just a sex trafficker, beating up women and just raping people? Is Donald Trump just raping people, horrible individual, massively racist? Are these people that, just bad people, or are they just trying to be made out to be that? Because the evidence I see is that Tate isn't that bad. I've met him before. I've met him multiple times. Doesn't seem that bad. Haven't met Trump yet. But from what I see, Trump just seems kind of like a bit of an opinionated old man. And then you've got fucking someone like Joe Biden, who has actually done like loads of bad shit, who sits on the moral card and saying, but we're here for equality and we're going to allow you to do whatever you want. And yeah, trans people can be women, men, or white or black or whatever. And it's like, all that rhetoric doesn't actually have any substance, because you're still ruining the economy with your fucking socialist ideologies. And at the end of the day, like, even if Trump gets in, it's still socialism. Like, America's still socialist, the country as a whole. You've got the Federal Reserve. Like, it controls the interest rate of money. Like, that is the most socialist thing I've ever seen in my life. We're going to protect the economy by manipulating the interest rate and controlling every aspect of every monetary. It's just like, what? Like, that's socialist as fuck. That's basically fascist as well. Yeah, it's scary, man, because what the fuck is the average person with no agenda to do? Well, that's the problem at the moment. It's like, you know, you used to be able to just get by in life. You know, you just be a mechanic, have a family, become the manager when you're 30, buy a house, have a nice car, drive around the city, enjoy some nice holidays, you know, watch your kids grow up. And that used to be just like what normal people did. Like, that was just a normal life, and you could get by, and like, you could always get just about ahead, and like, it was never really, really difficult. But you can't do that anymore, because here's an interesting thought process I just had in my head just then. The reason that you could do that, the reason that you could just get by, and there was not really any problems, and you weren't giving away too much power to other individuals, was because America just used to be a more free nation. There wasn't a massive government that had the power to manipulate things as much as it does today. So the people who were just getting by and having a nice life and having a good, you know, a generally good, normal, you know, prosperous little life without having to think about the bigger issues, was because there was no one fucking around with the system. It was just a more free individual system. So like, there wasn't anyone there who could manipulate or get ahead or fucking corrupt the situation. You were just getting by because it was more of a free market dynamic. It was more free market capitalist natured. But now, because everything's so commie and socialist and controlled, and there's government here, and everything's built by the government, there's huge taxes and all these things, and there's the fucking Federal Reserve creating interest, determining the interest rates, and governments printing money, the average Joe just can't get by because there's so many hands and fingers in the pie all corrupting and manipulating and fucking up the systemic system itself. So the person who's just trying to get by can't keep up because it's just like, you got to be protecting yourself with Bitcoin. You got to be buying gold. You can't be doing these issues. You can't be moving to this area of the world. You're going to get shot. Gun crimes here. Don't send your kids to this school because the fucking government's telling the kids to do. It's just like, it's a minefield. It's a fucking minefield for the average Joe. And most people are just the average Joe. Like, most people are just the average Joe because most people don't have, most people just don't have the want or the motivation to just like constantly be thinking and trying to survive. Like, people just want to have their fucking house with a back garden with a little pond. They go fishing on the weekends. They have their nice little job. They got their mum, their dad, and their family and their kids, and they're just chilling. People just chilling. And then you got all these fucking commies and socialists just thinking that, no, but now we need to be involved and we know what's better for you, and no, you need to pay this, and oh no, but if you're not going to wear your mask, we're going to close your business because you're bad. It's like, fucking leave these people alone. Just let them do what they want. Just give them freedom, because if there's less government and more freedom, the average Joe can just get by because no one's trying to fuck him up or trying to help him trying to be like, yes, we're trying to help you, but then just destroying your life. I'm just going on and on, but it's nice to have a month off so I can re-come to these points and just rant without, like, the thing is, when you stream every day, and there's only 200 people in here, and that's like the core community, but when you stream every single day, you just get bored of the sound of your own voice. That's what it is. If you stream for 2-3 hours a day, I don't know how these people like Tucker Carlson and all these other guys on like news channels do it. Like, if you're just talking and talking and talking for like hours, and I talk like on an hour or two, like just myself talking, so like you just get bored of your own voice for a bit. And you need to go away and like think about your points and like think about what you're doing and just try and like come up with better ideas as a whole. Because trading just is trading. I can trade just every day, chill, play some stuff here. But that's kind of like, I don't know really. Trading is just always there for me. Yeah, clones would be cool, sorry. My top 3 in order are MDX, CryptoFace, and Mitch Ray. Nice, brother. Cheers for the number 1 spot there. Let's have a look at my short. We're up against resistance for sure. Like, resistance. But, you know, I'm short. I just took a small short on my Alpha Dot exchange. But it's like nothing, just playing around really. But ultimately, I've put in all my cash at 25. So I'm like, got a lot of cash in the market. I think I'm only 1% USDT now. I was about 30%. I've been buying all the way down. We've had a nice move up 10%. So I'm happy about that. But, you know, I would say that I'm in cash. I've taken a small short here just for a bit of fun with you guys. But I would say that, let me think about it. Like, I think it is logical. You know, we are at resistance. You know, if we, the most logical thing I would say is probably going to get something like that and then continue to get the retest of trend. And that's the buy there. To short here is probably not a good trade just because you've just come out of it. We've got like 1, 2, 3. It's a 5 wave. So it wouldn't surprise me to get that. That will be the highest probability for me. It doesn't mean it can't continue, obviously. It just means that that's the highest probability in what I'm looking at. Doesn't mean that it can happen because we've just broken out. You know, breakouts. This is the thing about breakouts. They are just difficult to predict a breakout because things get frothy and people get excited and volatility comes back when you get the breaks. Along here, that's where you were looking at I got into a very nice short along here. So this trend line coming down, I actually did short the first lower high of this move. I had a big short actually here. I made about $22,000 on that move down. That was a crazy. That was one of those shorts where you're just like, fuck it now. Can't get much better than that. You know, like that was one of those ones where they don't come around very often. I'll tell you that. Most trades really do try and squeeze you as far as possible to make a wrong decision or try and break your mentality or your discipline. A lot of, like, most trades do that to you. You get stopped out once. You have to re-enter. You don't re-enter at the right point. You get retesting. You're trying to. There's loads of shit which can happen. But this one here was one of those ones which just went to plan. Just went perfectly to plan. You know, looking back in hindsight, I could have just, you know, I TP'd here, but you know, I could have left it on. But to pay the funding on that and all the fees would be stupid. What I probably should have done, I actually did re-long it back up. But I probably should have re-entered a few more shorts along here, which I did. I did do some smaller ones, but it wasn't anything significant. But ultimately, I kind of took a break because I had a big winning trade here. There's no point over trading the market and a downtrend, and I knew I was in cash. So my short was, in essence, just holding 30% of my portfolio in cash. And now it's all back in the market from about here to here. So I bought all my cash back in on Bybit and a few other exchanges. But yeah, it's been a good 2 months actually. I've quite enjoyed it. You know, not doing a video for a month has been a good recharge as well. For when this bull market gets going, because I can imagine when this bull market gets going again, you know, I think this channel will grow a lot again. I think when the traders are back and everything's, you know, everyone's running around, I think if I just stream every day during the bull market again, I think it's just gonna probably happen again where we just get these huge streams going because I got the momentum. People kind of are coming back in and are interested in price. I've got my new products and etc. But I am thinking about changing the channel name though. I think I might change the channel name to MDX Ventures or MDX Endeavors, and then I'm gonna have a bit of a split in the channel where I'm gonna have trading content. And I'm going to have podcast content where I'm going to make it into like entrepreneurship stuff, traders, get like professional traders on, business owners, CEOs, and just sit here like I'm doing with you now, but just chat to like some other random fucking CEO about some shit. But yeah, guys, go to alpha.exchange, and if you go to my Telegram group, and then you place trades on this, I will do a bounty. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention as well. Anyone who trades on this exchange, there's only a few days left. So actually, there's 10 days left. But if you trade a lot on Alpha, you'll have a chance to win 0.1 Bitcoin. So the top 5 people will get a share of 0.1 Bitcoin. So if you trade on this exchange, you do have a chance to win 0.1 Bitcoin. Alpha.exchange. This is the exchange you can see on the screen. Alpha.exchange. And then also the links below, guys. Get a Bybit account and stuff like that. You know what to do. Nah, vet, like, I don't know. Guys, put your altcoins in the chat. Everyone's talking about vet in the chat. Let's have a look then. I'll have a look at it. I'll just do my, you know, 30,000 foot view, yeah. Oh, good old vet. Let's get rid of all drawings. Right. So we've got here some interesting price action, haven't we? You know, vet's still downtrending. The gap I see is, let me just get the yearlies up. Let me just put the crucial levels on, okay? So we got the opens, the close. We are the Germans. We're going to look at the opens and the closes. That level there is pretty much doing 4 levels in a row. Yeah, the Germans, you know, we are going to talk about the opens and the close. We want to identify what happens in these Germans in Berlin, you know. So I talk about Berlin many times in my now Russian. I am now Russian, man. I am now Strasvoiche, my drug. Я хочу пиво. Yeah, I'm just waffling on, aren't I, legends? Sound like an old man just going on. So yeah, we've got some levels. It has broken down actually. So I think the next real level in this downtrend for the VET Aruniente. Yeah, I was gonna say it's around here. Yeah, we can. Oh, hopefully. Yes, let's draw on some rays on VET Aruniente. I think VET's coming towards a bottom on this. I think it's as similar to ADA. I think you've had 4 months of significant down pressure. I don't see any examples of more than 4 months of down without a retracement. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah, I don't see many examples here. Oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was a 5 there. Yeah, I think VET's getting close to a bottom. I think between here it is and about 9 cents. I think that is it comes to about 8 cents. I think that's where it's going to bottom. Yeah, I think it's quite close. I don't know much about the fundamentals, but this is not fundamental analysis. Let's have a look on the fibs as well, what we got here. On a retracement, it's probably below the 786. Yeah, it's wrecked. So let's go on the daily here. Got a nice trend line coming along there, which is definitely significant. Maybe like an invert. You know, with VET, I think it pops up on the short term. I think it comes up to around here. I think we get something like this. You know, I think it's going to come up, and then you have to just see whether it's going to break that trend line really. As of right now, I think it's more likely to go up and then back down. But I think it's something like that. And I think VET doesn't look as good as some other ones. There is a slightly lower low here. There's been a significant move down. It's had 4 months of downwards movement. I think that's the ideal situation. You're going to get a move up if it breaks trend. But I think it might do something like that and then maybe try. And if it does lose this level, it looks like it's coming down towards 8 cents. So I think it's up then 8 cents, or it's up, higher low, and then break of trend, which means up to next levels. Okay, that's VET for you. Oh yeah, Prop C. Prop C for me is just an investment. I actually did look at Shiba as well. Shiba is quite funny because like Sheebs is really taking a downturn. I bought Dogecoin instead of Shiba. I didn't actually buy any Shiba. I probably should just like have a little bit in. I think it's 17x off its high. It is 12x off its high. I bought Doge. Doge is 11x off its high, and Doge is a little bit more, you know, been around for a while, a bit longer. Linky! Link bear! Link got murked, legends. It's been in this range for like 1.5 years, and it broke the downside of the range. I think it's a really nice opportunity to get some Link. But I just don't know where Link is like I don't know about Link. It got murked, legends. Yeah, I think it's getting close to a buy here. Come down a bit further. Matic's on trend as usual. I think it's going to bounce. I think ADA's the clearest bet for me. That's the one I bought the most of. Yeah, I think ADA's going to come up a bit higher. Whether ADA goes, you know, to here and then continues lower, then that remains to be seen. That can still happen. But I would say that it's a good bet that, you know, ADA comes up here a little bit. It's even doing something like that as well, which is good. So you can see how it's come down, and then it's doing this pattern where it's like almost, and then back out. What you don't want to see is it go like this and then go, because then it just goes and continues lower. It does some sort of bear flag, you know. bear flag, break down, continue, bear flag, break down, continue. It's doing the opposite of that right now, which is a good sign. Fuck, I'm missing out all the chat here. My what? My make is back. Trade 10x long. What? Yeah, I'm so pissed off. At the beginning of this stream, I was going through all my shit and it just cut me off. I was like, bruh. Always go and watch the beginning of these streams again. Oh, fuck. Get a bit tired. It's like 1 a.m. Yeah. Max, will you be traveling the world next bull? And is there still 100? Of course, there's still 100k boat party, but we gotta get to 100k, ain't we? The 100k MDX boat party is, you know, just waiting for it to fucking that price action to go up, you know. We got to 70. We just got wrecked before we got to 70. But yeah, I need to bounce, guys. Like 1 a.m. I need to sleep. I will do altcoins in the next stream, so keep your altcoins out there. But yeah, there's tons of alts. Like I would just say that most of these alts, you know, broadly speaking, they're kind of playing out the same price action. I do think a lot of them are quite close to the bottom. But I think, you know, ultimately you want to keep an eye on Bitcoin at the moment. Keep it really an eye on Bitcoin, because if that moves up, then altcoins are probably going to stay flat and then rally the next time Bitcoin stops. You know, so if Bitcoin goes to say 41 or something, it won't go. Alts won't go up, you know, during the Bitcoin rally. Unlikely. They might go up a little bit, but then when Bitcoin stops and has a consolidation, then alts will pop. XRP, okay. You know, XRP is held up pretty well, actually, considering like some of the other altcoins. But XRP really hasn't moved for years. You know, it hasn't really. It's just like the same levels down here for just years. It does have something happening here. These lows are getting slightly higher. So you could say there is potentially some sort of parabola happening here. But I'll keep it pretty simple. I'll just draw a line from this resistance here. Not there. Keep it pretty simple. Just whack a resistance line there. And then you can generally see, it's not going to be perfect, but you can generally see, you know, the trend is up. It's not perfect, but you can see it's beginning to try and carve out something, okay? And you can see here, if I just did it a bit more simple, maybe to there. It's a parabola, but if you just do that, you can see it's beginning to carve out some sort of ascending formation, higher lows coming in, with those highs staying the same. So if we get another one like that, like this, I think XRP is going to break out to the upside like this. The easy logical inflection, or let's just say the invalidation, is that, you know, it comes and it loses. So it goes to here and then it loses this level like that, and then it comes back down, fucks around. But XRP isn't one of my favorites. I just don't believe that it is a cryptocurrency. Oh, I don't believe XRP is a crypto. It doesn't use any cryptography. It doesn't use any blockchain in essence. It's just like a kind of a database ledger. And loads of banks have power to manipulate the supply, etc. So it's a bit bollocksy. But let's have a look at the ETBTs. Anyway, you know what I think, guys? Go and check out alpha.exchange, my decentralized exchange. Also check out MDX Algo. This is where you can get access to my group, the Traders Network. Also, you can get access to the algorithms and the trading bot and the academy. The academy is about to, well, we've got the trading course already in here. You can actually see we have a 25 lesson trading course in here. You can see what is technical analysis. It takes you to this page here. But ultimately, this here is now going to have a whole new section built into the academy. We're going to have 6 different traders all posting videos every single day. There's going to be new videos uploaded every single day of content about education. And then we have the traders group as well. So it's basically a hub. MDX Algo is becoming the hub for crypto legends. So get MDX Algo. You can get a free account as well if you sign up to Bybit. So you make a Bybit account with the link below. You can actually get MDX Algo and get MDX Algo for free. But legends, I'm going to get some sleep. I'm knackered. You're all legends. I will see you on the flippers. Yeah, you're all leggies. Cheers up.